Hey everybody, welcome to another episode. I am Michael Petrow, and on the show with me this week, you've got Ian Bawa and Charles Fernandes. We have a weekly watch list consisting of Bob's Burgers, home of the good burger. We've also got Top Gun Maverick, Where Are You Goose, and The Wylds, which is basically fucked up. If you haven't seen it yet, please watch it. It's like Lord of the Flies, but in 2022. That's all I'm going to say. So there's your weekly watch list, ladies and gentlemen. We're also talking about two of our favorite things, syndicated television and bio pics. One from film, one from TV. Bio pics stretching into what are our favorites? What did we know now that we didn't know prior to watching the movie? Do we care if it's completely accurate, if they take some poetic license and do whatever the fuck they want? Or do you need it to be right inside the truth and only the truth and nothing but the truth? And then kick into syndicated television. What are your favorite classic syndicated televisions? How much have these fuckers made over the time that they've been airing on every single streaming service, network, outhouse in the middle of Alaska? Who knows where these things play? Do you have a show that you thought was going to be a big hit and it got canceled? That's what's on the show for you this week, ladies and gentlemen. That's who's on the show this week, ladies and gentlemen. And that's it. I don't really have anything else except if you were going to be at the Gimli Film Fest this year, Friday, July 22nd, that evening, Jimmy Skinner and myself will be on the beach talking to Farpoint Films about Ice Vikings, the ice fishing show that takes place on Lake Winnipeg in and around the Gimli area. We're going to chat with them. We're going to get to know what they do, how they film the whole process. We're going to have a blast. So we're going to be Q&Aing that. Friday, July 22nd, 7 p.m., I believe is the time. I might be wrong, so you might have to subscribe to the show or subscribe to one of our social media channels to stay in the know. Follow us for more information. I have nothing else. I'm out of breath. That's what I don't have. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I give you Charles, I give you Ian, and I give you me. I will cue that reel, and you enjoy the show.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome everybody to the official space section of the chart.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order. I show you out of order.
Oh, Smithers, you're so good at turning me on.
How's that in your head?
That's good.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the place that asks that favorite question you all tune in to hear. What happens when real life meets real life? I'm Michael Petrow.
Oh, hello there. I'm Charles.
You're waiting for someone to be sitting here.
That's right.
Yeah, I know. It threw everything.
You're not Wayne. That's
Yeah.
what it's for. It's so freaky. That's all I can think of.
And who are you, Coffee?
I am Ian Bawa, which is, I am not sitting in my usual spot, which is annoying.
It's throwing off the whole chi of the room, right? I just rolled over the XLR cables, so it created feedback, and we've moved Ian
She's
from...
toast.
It's gone. I got
Yeah.
to go back there anyway because I got to get a new power adapter for the Rode kit.
Do you just go back with the same cord and be like, it doesn't work now, and then they give you a different one?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Also,
I should, yeah.
also Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. That's okay. That's where the power adapter's coming from too. So,
Yeah,
we'll
just return it.
yeah. Just
Honestly.
just send it back to Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I bought it at Long and McQuaid.
Dude, they'll
Yeah.
take it. They'll
Shout
be
out
like,
Long and McQuaid.
Take it.
They'll be like,
Or just
oh,
go
yeah.
to Long McQuaid's too, whatever. They'll return it.
Don't shout out to Long and McQuaid.
They won't care. I don't think they'll like fight for like a fucking like $20 cord.
No,
Yeah.
no, they won't. Where's the receipt? We're not talking to you until you show me a receipt.
Yeah.
Whereas Amazon's like, yeah, it's ours.
Yeah, they don't give you carrier. They're just like, we sell it back anyways.
Ends up at that buckets
Yeah, that's
place
what they
on
have, like
McPhillips.
$1 fucking bucket of return items.
Heading down there on the $2 day to get my rolled over XLR cord.
I've been using you just keep getting the same cord back over and over.
Does this one have feedback? Damn, it's the same cord. Oh shit! Have you guys been to those places?
Not yet.
No?
I think it'll give me anxiety.
It's slightly okay. Well, I went when everybody was like shouldn't be out in the world because of COVID, so you were just lined up like a pig to a trough,
Right.
and there's just shit,
Right.
mostly from China. A lot of it perverted. Silicone boobies, cell phone cases. That magnetic sand thing over there that you're looking at is a direct $5 purchase from
Whoa.
the bin place, right? Because
It's
got
a good
boobies.
purchase.
right,
It's got the boobies in it.
it does. No, those are sandcastles.
Oh, I see.
Not everything is. Those are square sandcastles.
I thought everything
How much
they
did you
sold
pay for
had-
that?
$5.
Oh, wow.
That's a little too much.
It is a little too.
You can feel the magnet in it, though.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
hefty.
Well, it's that sand you pick up and then it like falls perfectly, right? Like we need more.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listener can't see this.
Yeah, this is very good for an audio.
Yeah, no.
like, for audio.
Just
audience.
later, just get a zoom in on.
Get a zoom in of the audio of that sand.
Why
Zoom
can't
in.
we see it? Zoom in more to the
Zoom in
audio.
on the sand. I still don't see it.
Oh shit! Well, first of all, welcome back, Ian. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
How is your travels? Where have you been?
My banter is so off today. I'm so tired.
It's been a minute. Yeah. Oh.
Well, he confirmed
Okay,
it, so
move
it's
on.
good. Yeah,
I would be
that's
so good at improv. It's like, is anyone here a doctor? Is anyone here a doctor?
The secret to improv I've heard is yes and.
Yeah, it is yes and.
Yeah.
That's the basics of it,
Well, yeah,
right? Because you're
basically,
trying to keep somebody in.
The word no doesn't exist. As
Yeah.
long as you have that in your brain, you got to go.
I love small little like wordplay that teaches people simple things. Like for improv, it's yes and then like for beatboxing, it's like boots and cats. You know, like there's different.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
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 Like
that
there's
is
different-
exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's like holy shit.
That's
it like
good.
opens your mind a little bit more.
That's like elephant shoes is also I love you if you're watching my mouth.
Oh.
Elephant shoes.
Wow.
so I've
Elephant
heard
shoes.
Olive juice.
Olive juice as well.
Yeah.
Anything that like the way your mouth moves
Right.
is the same way it moves if you say another set of words.
What's the quick fox jumped over the lazy dog?
The rubber buggy bumpers?
Oh, that as well. Yeah.
one?
That's Last Action Hero.
Isn't the
That's
quick
right.
brown fox what you type in typing class?
well, it's all the alphabet, but yeah.
That is, yeah.
Yeah. That's
it's in
the
like
joke.
like Palamento or whatever that fucking
Yes.
font is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Elemento.
I think I'm hungry. I'm thinking pimento
Yeah.
olives.
Yeah, pimento olives. Ever since we started this olive talk, I got a salty taste in my mouth.
Olive juice.
There you go.
Elephant shoes. All right, so you were filming in Vietnam. If people follow Ian on his TikTok channel, which you should, because you can follow it from our
Yes.
link in our bio on our Instagram page.
What
What were you doing in Vietnam?
I was well, prior to Vietnam, I was filming my own movie, which is like a short film that I'm one of the many things I'm working on, and that was 5 days shoot, and then took 2 days to wrap out, then flew to Vietnam for a feature doc I'm directing on
That's the financial one, right?
financial independence, so FIRE, which is financial independence, retire early, and just interviewed a bunch of people there.
Is that
for
their
like 10
acronym?
days. Yeah.
So
I'm on
cool.
fire.
Yeah.
So cool.
I want that in my life. I want financial independence.
And then came back, and then I just took a gig directing just a TV show for a couple days, and now today's kind of like my first official day off, which I'm like running errands, doing this, hanging out, like doing a bunch of stuff. So,
But it's stuff you'll really.
It's stuff I actually enjoy doing. Like I saw Top Gun this morning, so like, yeah.
Wow!
So-
Our first 24-hour
Nice.
review, so it's gonna have to be really, really filled with spoilers.
I'm also like on my third cup of coffee, so I'm like,
Sweet.
we'll see if the coffee, like what my opinion is based on like my mood.
Did the coffee machine I bought, not buy? I'm not in the act of buying
Does
it.
machine make coffee?
That's a Value Village buy.
Oh, is it?
How's the coffee?
Did you clean it first?
Yes.
It's good, very good.
Why did you ask that question
Because
first?
I wanted to know.
I don't want to die. You know.
No, we tested it on my mother-in-law when she was here.
It's a fine Tassimo coffee.
Okay, good.
It tastes like a Tassimo coffee. It's better than basic coffee.
When I saw you in Vietnam, I sent him a message. I don't know what we were talking about, but I was like, you guys look like poor man's Anthony Bourdain's, because they were in a shot,
yeah, we
and
were
it was the four of
constantly-
them, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
the shot of the four of them in it from like a POV shot, or not a first-person shot, and there was bowls of pho all over the table,
Yeah.
and you could see Vietnam, like Ho Chi Minh or wherever the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
they were, like going on in the background,
Yeah.
and like the fucking scooters and shit, and I was just like, this is exactly what Bourdain looked like when he
Yeah.
talked to
It-
Obama in Vietnam.
It's legitimately like, because everywhere you mainly are on the street eating half the time, but like it became almost like a food doc because we were just eating so well and everything's so cheap there. So yeah,
But you can wrap that into finances.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Well, the doc itself is about myself and my other friend Quan and how like our journey of like financial independence. So like it was part of it. So hey, that means write off every time if there's ever a thing. Like legitimately, like it was like, is this food per diem or is this food a write off?
diem.
Yeah,
That's
petty food.
wicked.
Is this per my wallet or
Yeah,
per
yeah,
the budget?
Yeah, it was definitely. We had a big seafood feast on the beach, and it was definitely like
Wow.
too petty. So we were like,
Wow.
save your per diem, boys. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so that's where, if anybody's been like, where's Ian? I want to know from a professional's perspective.
No one's asking. No I'm kidding.
No one sends emails
Yeah.
requesting that. Send an email just to make them feel better now. Yeah, what we did the live show. We missed you.
Mhm.
It was a lot of
That
fun.
was the live show.
The live show was the best of friends and family.
Mhm.
There was a lot of wisecracks. My mother got thrown under the bus after I did.
Your mom stole the show for a bit, actually.
She did
Let's be
have,
honest.
yeah,
Really?
because
Oh,
the whole
yeah.
conversation of like me not seeing The Simpsons came up,
Oh,
like live.
yeah.
And I got called out for it because Jimmy picked The Simpsons, and he was like something like, "Yeah, Mike won't know anything about my restaurant because he's never seen an episode of The Simpsons." And I immediately was like, "My mom never let me. She's sitting right over there." And then
That's great.
and then it turned into like, no, my mom just sent me to bed so that she could
could
watch
watch
The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's fair.
And every time I came out, she was like, "It's mommy's time. Go to bed.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
hanging out with Marge. Fuck off."
Doug Darling of Tripwire has said he had a good time. He said it was
Yes,
fun.
he did because
Yeah.
he introduced us.
Oh,
He
did
was-
he? I
was
didn't
our
know
hype
that.
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I was like, "Do you wanna?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Sweet,"
Yeah, he
because
was
I
fun.
don't.
He was funny.
Yeah.
That's
Really
good.
funny.
That's good.
Yeah, and like he didn't. As much as he did nail it, it was still the way he said it, because I said, I was like, ask everybody in the room if they're ready to masturbate, because that's what I think is funny. And if you leave a voicemail review and tell us otherwise, we'll stop. But I asked him to say it. I asked to the crowd, "Are you guys ready to masturbate?" And he didn't, like, his timing was, he's like, "Are you ready to masturbate?" Like, he really
Yeah.
made sure it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
everybody in the room know what I'm asking.
We,
Yeah,
loved,
yeah, yeah.
we loved it.
We loved it.
Yeah,
It
that
was fun to come out to. So
That was great. That
Everybody
was-
cheer louder next time, and we'll do it more. But yeah, no, live show was good, and we're gonna do more.
Okay.
We'll do more there.
Oh, yeah.
So. Now that we know how it works, and like,
That's what I figured. The first one's always a trial run.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And Mark
We
won't
can-
win again because it won't be a birthday.
I told him we can only do it. We'll make sure every live show falls
There's a
on
birthday.
someone's
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just win.
No, that's
Yeah.
exactly how we do it. So,
Everyone, oh, hello.
and of course, if Ian's here, Diamond constantly walks in the room looking for love and affection. So if one of us goes, "Oh, that's my balls," it's just Diamond grabbing for a pat.
Patting.
Patting. That's her pat. It's Paddington.
She also just lights up the room when she comes.
She
in.
does. She's a
She
set
does her
dog
job.
now.
She
Ian
does
was
her job.
telling us before. You know what? Let's not complain. That's not fun. Let's go into the movie world. Fucking stop talking about our everyday lives here. That's not why people listen to the show. So this week, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real talk. If you hear anything that you like, agree, disagree, you come up with an idea and you want to let us know about it, I've said this before and I'll say it again. We love having a voicemail line. It's free. You can leave up to 5 minutes of a review of things that you like. Head to the link in our bio on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram and press whatever the fuck you do on your phone. Smash that shit that
shit.
says leave a voicemail.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
cool.
we'll throw it into the mix when we do all this. And then when we air it, we'll play previous thoughts on episode whatever. And oh yeah, Ian just put shades on Diamond, everybody, and she's like dealing with it. It's pretty she's so sweet. So leave a voicemail about any of the thoughts that you have. There's also a spot there to leave a review as well too. It's all on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Well, they can review us.
Yep.
Wow.
You can review us, and it automatically because we're lazy pieces of I'm lazy. I'm a lazy piece of shit. I shouldn't speak for you all, but
I am too.
I know. I just
You both are. I'm kidding.
but like when you leave a review in written form in typecast, it takes you to the app you use on your phone. So it defaults to
see.
Spotify if that's where you listen to podcasts.
see.
It defaults to Castbox. It defaults to Google. So then you just leave your shit and tell us what you think. So do that, everybody. We'd love to hear from you. That said, yeah, it's a real talk. So a couple questions, a couple rounds of conversation. We're going to be doing a Roger's Regret. I think that's going to be a fun one. If you missed our last one, this is a segment where we re-review Roger Ebert's 2 stars or less film reviews and see if we agree or disagree on the film, which today's film is The Hangover Part 2. Part 2. You've been in the Far East, so why not? They went to Thailand. Oh,
That's right. That's right.
and yeah, I think we might do an Admit It too if we've got time. So let's kick off the show. Charles, what'd you watch?
Oh, you know what? I got to watch the Bob's Burgers movie.
Thursday night you went, didn't you?
I did,
You
yeah.
opening
Yeah.
early fucking show bastard you.
Yeah, I did.
How was it?
It was fantastic, honestly. Yeah, it was.
What's the
was
story? Does it
amazing.
pick up from the show at all?
You know what? Okay, so what I loved about it, what I think they did that is the best I've ever seen a show do a TV movie is they just made it a long episode. They didn't worry about everybody needs to be in it. We need to make sure that everybody shows up. We need to make sure this. We need to make sure that. They didn't give a shit about any of that. It was just like, here's a story, and we have a medium to tell a longer story that we've never been able
Here's
to.
our world, and 45 minutes
Also, it seems
to
like
an hour and a half.
so it is a musical, which is no surprise. Oh, it's a total musical.
I assumed it was going to be like musically, but I didn't know.
Big
it would be
time.
musical.
It's an easy way for everybody to show up.
Yeah.
I think they did. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm really curious to see the making of. But the dance sequences are not only done so well, but the way the animation's done, it almost looks like it's motion cap. And then they put a rendering of their animation over it.
Interesting.
Because the way they like do dance sequences and whatnot, it really looks like. Remember the opening
It really
of
looks like
Superbad?
So You Think You Can Dance?
Well, like, remember the opening of Superbad? How
Yeah.
it's like them, but it's like silhouettes of them doing all that.
Yeah.
whatnot?
Okay.
Think of that, but like it's Bob's Burgers animation.
Are there any
Like,
big drawings of dicks?
Yeah.
no, but no, it's so good. It's really fun. It's everything you want. It's Bob's Burgers, heart and soul. It's great.
How does it compare to the Simpson movie?
Yeah,
Or the Family Guy movie
or
or any?
South
Yeah,
Park.
right.
You know
South-
what?
Is there a
yeah.
Family Guy movie?
So-
the Star Wars one is
Oh,
not
that
the
doesn't count.
That no, okay.
You know what's funny? I've never actually seen those ones.
Have-
Being a big
Neither
Star
have
Wars fan
I.
too, yeah.
Surprise,
Wow,
fucking
there you go.
surprise.
But have you
There
guys
you
seen
go.
the Lego Christmas Star Wars?
Yeah.
I told you
Yeah.
to watch that, right?
Yeah.
I
It
saw
was
the
good.
Lego
It was
movie.
good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never
No,
saw
there's a
it.
Lego Christmas special.
Disney
that's like
Plus
the
just
best.
did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good, and
It is.
rips on every single Star
Yeah.
Wars movie,
Yeah.
including the new one, I believe.
And they they make really great jokes on the actual Christmas special that
Yeah.
they did in like the 70s.
Oh,
It's so
the-
shit.
It's
like
very
they
funny.
did Star Wars, and then did they do 2 and then the Christmas special happened, or did they do 1 and then the Christmas special happened?
No, I think they did one and
one.
2. I think they did 1 and 2 and then did Christmas special.
Yeah,
I think
because
it's-
Boba Fett's in the Christmas
No,
special
but
Oh,
Boba Fett. No, they did one, and then they
You're
did
right.
the Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah,
Boba
you're
Fett
right.
came in
through the Christmas
through
special.
the Christmas.
That's
Yeah,
it,
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
in the cartoon.
That's
Yeah.
so
yeah.
fucking
It's very
full of
fucking weird.
hubris.
Yeah.
And like if you watch or listen to the behind the scenes, like I think like what's her name, Carrie Fisher was like drunk for a lot
Yeah,
of it or
she
something.
was,
Like
yeah.
she didn't
Was.
give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all like
Yeah.
this was a contract agreement, but
And you can tell because even like they're laughing at a lot of their, even when
Yeah.
like they're talking to the camera, they're like in the middle of laughing and
Yeah.
shit. So I think they were just like treating it as like, oh, we're hanging out
yeah,
and we're buzzed.
it's pretty fucking bad. Like,
yeah. No, but yeah, no, it's great. It's awesome. It's really good. I loved it. There was one thing I was confused and I need to read about is there's a character in it that's usually voiced by Bill Hader and he's amazing, and in the movie he was not voiced by Bill Hader.
Is there,
I would
didn't
bet
even-
scheduling conflicts.
And
what character is Bill Hader? voiced?
Mickey, he's like that criminal. Remember one of the
yeah,
first
yeah,
episodes?
I didn't know that was Bill Hader.
Bill Hader did his voice and he didn't do it in the movie, which I was like,
Interesting.
oh shit.
What is
Too busy on Barry.
the guy who does Bob? What's his
Oh,
name? H. John Benjamin.
Yeah.
Thank you. One of, if not one of the best voices in the history of voiceover artistry.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And when they do the Archer Bob's Burgers crossover, it's fucking hilarious. Yeah, because it's the same exact voice, right?
Oh, I
It's
didn't
not
even
like
realize that. I
he's
didn't
not
watch
voice-
Archer. Yeah.
Archer does.
I didn't watch Archer either. Surprise!
They do an opening of Archer where they're making fun of the Bourne supremacy, and Archer is into like he's in. He doesn't know he's a secret agent, so he's working as just a guy who runs a restaurant, and it's Bob's Burgers, and he's married to Linda, but it's in Archer animation, which is different from
Weird.
Bob's. So it is, and it's funny, and the kids are there and everything, and then these Russians show up, and it's a history of violence, and he
that's
kills
so
one of them with
funny.
the coffee mug, and he's like, how did I just do that? And then he kills all of them, and then the last one before he kills him, he speaks Russian. And he's like, "What the hell's going on?" And then that's like that becomes the season joke.
Is
That's
there
so
a
Yeah,
funny.
it's really funny. It's really good.
I love History of Violence.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
first off,
Great
yes.
underrated movie.
Yeah.
that the fact that that's being used
Yeah.
is very deep.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
it's
think
funny.
the people who watch Bob's Burgers also watch David Cronenberg. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think
right.
that's...
And then that's going into Archer, right? And the link between Archer and Bob's Burgers is just like just H. John Benjamin,
Right.
So that's a real deep fans, right?
I'm having a fear that someone's going to send an email and be like, listen, I love David Cronenberg. I got the fucking joke, asshole.
Yeah.
There's
Funny
like
you
a
mention
mutiny.
him. His movie's really stirring up. Hey,
Oh, what is it called? Future Crimes?
future
At Cannes?
future of violence or something.
That's
or
Future Crimes.
That's,
Future crimes
Is
or
it? Is
something.
it? Is
He's
it,
getting walkouts.
Is it David Cronenberg or is his son?
No, it's
No,
David
no,
Cronenberg.
it's
Is
David.
that David Cronenberg?
It's David,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Because it's David and Vigo.
Yeah.
Right. Oh no, yeah, I know. I'm just saying for the new one. I thought
For
it was,
no, it's David. Which I
Okay.
was like, because I thought he was kind of retired.
I thought he
but-
was retired because
yeah.
Possessor was so good. That's by his son.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this one is him.
Oh, interesting. I didn't
He's
know.
old, man. Holy
Is this
shit.
the one with like Kristen Stewart that they're talking about?
Yeah,
No.
Leah Sado. It's her, Leah Sado.
What's her
and
name? She-
Vigo.
Yeah.
Life is a House. The female in Life is a House. There's
Oh my
Hayden
God.
Christensen. There's Kevin Kline.
I don't remember.
Kevin Kline's
Oh.
wife.
Oh.
She's in this, I believe. She's a great
I know
English
who you're talking
actress.
about. I can't fucking think of it.
Oh, what the fuck's her name?
I think Kristen Stewart is in it
Okay,
too.
I could.
think
I
she
don't.
is.
I just know.
and I
it's
know
at
Leah
Cannes.
Sado is in it too.
Leah Sado. Oh.
So I
Huh.
heard he got walkouts, but then also got an 8-minute standing ovation.
But they fucking do that cans all the time.
I know.
Yeah,
I think they
like,
have to.
They just like they'll give,
Except
like,
for
these long-
Lars von Trier, he does not get
Yeah.
those.
They just flick the switch that's like stand, and it when
Yeah,
all
yeah.
It says
instructed-
applause.
Yeah.
walkout
Yeah.
stand
Yeah.
because they get so many there's so many stories of walkouts at
Yeah.
Cannes
Yeah.
and there's so many stories of standing ovations
Yeah.
and I don't take either of them into account
It's
anymore.
it's the same thing as like I agree with you. It's like the Oscar. It's just celebrities being like to other celebrities, you did good,
Like,
you made it.
Joker won a big award at Cannes.
It did. I
And,
think it
like,
won the audience award.
something massive, yeah, which was
Yeah.
like like okay, like I'm not a
But
full
part of me
Joker
thinks
hater.
the studio's like, hey,
Yeah.
please do this.
yeah
Here's some money.
Like, there's a
please
lot
do
of
this,
politics involved.
right?
It's
yeah.
a lot of
Because video
stroking,
games,
for
video
sure.
games do it too.
Yeah.
You'll see video games get reviewed by fans like not good, but then one, developer or
Twitch
whatever
player.
is like
Yeah.
9 out of 10, and you're like, so you guys got paid? They got to play it a week early,
Dude.
right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, well,
One of the biggest reviewers of whiskey and scotch makes a book every year of the best.
yeah.
And Crown Royal
Oh yeah.
made it one year
Yeah.
as the best.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm
Yeah.
from we're all from Manitoba. We
Yeah.
root for your home
Yeah.
team, but like
Yeah.
get fucked. The next thing they make is apple flavored whiskey. How
Yeah.
do you give a whiskey?
Oh, wasn't the Harvest something like that?
Yeah, it was the autumn.
What?
It was the
It's
harvest.
a good whiskey.
It was a play on the fucking the Diageo
I love her.
distillery is in the prairies,
Right.
so it's a marketing campaign.
Right.
It's in the Interlake. That's
Yeah.
where a lot of farmers are. Like,
But you know what it is too? It's like one of those. It could have been that year where they're like, they've been doing it a while.
Yeah.
sure, yeah,
Let's
Right,
toss
you
him
know?
a bone.
Yeah,
participation
they've been
award.
doing it
I
a
get
while.
it. All
Was
right.
it during COVID time? Because I
No,
feel like
this
that was
like,
our
this
year.
Was like 3 or 4 years.
This is a long-
like
yeah.
20,
Oh, it was a while.
2017 or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that
you know.
was- And it like upended the fucking whiskey scotch community because they were
Yeah.
like, "How dare you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
However, for someone who doesn't have the finest of dollars to spend on the finest of whiskeys, I like Crown Royal.
Don't
It's
get-
very,
dude,
it's very
I-
funny.
yeah.
It's the perfect gift now because you can say it's an award-winning like,
Here's your
whiskey.
award-winning whiskey.
Yeah,
It's
like you can
snob
give it.
appeal.
You can travel anywhere and just give them a bottle. And
It's
Totally.
so fun. This
Yeah.
won first place.
And if
Yeah.
you can get the one that says that
Yeah, I
award
know.
winner, you're like, here you go.
$20.
Okay, you know what? Speaking of awards, how many burgers
Burgers.
with a martini?
You know, honestly,
I'm doing an Archer.
I want to see it again right away. I'm gonna say 10 out of 10.
I'll go with you. You know why? I'll go with you because I find that show funny. I
Yeah.
find all those
It's
shows
fantastic.
funny.
You know what's great? What I liked about the movie too, and this is what I told Claudia right away. Is I said the smartest thing about it is if someone's like, I've never really seen the show, I don't watch all the episodes. Don't worry about it. You can still enjoy it. If you have watched the show and you're a fan, you'll love it even more.
I've seen all the episodes, or at least up to the recent or last recent
Yeah.
2 seasons, and I don't remember a lot of it. Because
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like it's like The Office, it's like background noise, like Simpsons and
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot. Like I think it's
Yeah.
so funny. I
Yeah.
thought when I first started watching, I remember thinking, "Is this for me?" Because I'm very picky about my cartoon shows. But I do really like it, so I'm happy you say that because I don't remember much of it.
Oh, you know,
but I
what?
do like it a
It's-
lot.
And that's the thing. People were worried. Like, is it continuing? Is it like an episode that continues a season? It's just a day in their life.
Well,
it's just like any episode.
I'll say these
Yeah.
are my like things because I asked you if it's like the Simpson movie, not very good in my opinion.
It was okay.
Yeah, it feels like what it feels like to me with these like TV shows that become a movie. It feels like they are longish episodes, or
Yeah.
at least 3 long episodes.
Yeah.
And what they're planning, like it feels like what the network is planning to do is take this movie, cut it into 3 episodes, and put
Right.
it on TV later on.
Yeah.
So they
yeah.
just take 3 ideas and amalgamate it into a 90-minute movie.
Yeah, like the movie's already made a year ago. They're just
Yeah, yeah.
This isn't a spoiler in any way. It's
Yeah.
literally opening 30 seconds. What's smart about this is what they did is it's a murder mystery.
Yeah, it sounds like the reviews
Those are
have been
fun.
crazy.
That's
good.
literally what
one
it
of the
is.
best
Yeah.
episodes of The
Because-
Simpsons is Who
and
Shot
it's-
Mr. Burns.
Agreed. Yeah,
And-
100%.
Right. And they do, and that's what I'm saying is what's great about it is that's their Who
Yeah.
Shot Mr. Burns moment. They're doing it in a movie and they're capitalizing. It's some of the best animation they've ever had because that's movie money, right? It is a musical, which if you're not a fan of the show and you're not known, it is a very musical animated show and it does it randomly, which is great. But the movie treats it like their West Side Story, like there are
Right.
musical numbers that are fucking unreal. Like
Right.
they're so great. But yeah, no, it's they did a fantastic job. And again, what I loved about it is they didn't treat it like, oh, it's a movie. Okay, we got to make sure everybody has a scene. Everybody's in it.
Yeah,
no, it's honestly
not a Marvel movie.
It's about the kids
yeah.
and it's about the parents, and that's the heart and
Great.
soul of Bob's Burgers.
Great.
You know.
I'm gonna see it tomorrow. most likely.
It's worth a watch. It's so good in the theater. It's really good. Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's-
feels like a good audience.
It's fun, and they do what South Park does in the way what they all should do. They open up with a really probably their best. One of their best musical numbers is the opening of the movie.
South Park's a good comp for it because that movie is very good and
I
it's
think it's
also
a
a musical.
masterpiece. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that opening of South Park is one of the best ways to be
Yep.
like, because it's almost doing it in a way of like, if you've never seen our show before, here you go.
Yeah.
And Bob's Burgers very much does that. Like
Yeah.
the opening is
It's
being
going to
like,
send you to the back
here we go.
catalog.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but no, it was fantastic. They did a fantastic job. They pulled
How many
pulled it all
burgers?
out.
I missed
10
it.
out of 10,
10 out
baby.
of 10.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a hit list.
It's a mega burger.
That's a perfect hit list, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
the ace.
100%.
All right.
Fat Boy.
That's
I'll
a fat boy, yeah.
I'll go next and make this quick.
sweet.
Yeah, I'll talk about this because it's just like it's gone into overdrive. The Wylds season 2.
Oh,
Wait, are we talking about the show? But
this is the Apple Plus show?
No, this is the Amazon Prime.
this is the
show.
episode with the girls
Amazon.
on the island.
Oh, dude, it
But
ain't
there's
girls anymore.
boys.
It's boys now.
I saw that.
What?
So,
But is it like
I
the
watched
crash?
a bit of season 1. I think.
so it is a plane crash.
Oh my
shit.
god.
Okay.
Okay.
We are talking about the same show.
We are talking about the same show. I like it because it's very lost to me, right?
Yeah, of
So,
course. That's why I watched a bit of season 1.
There you go. And me and you have
Yeah.
Plane crash
commiserated
things
on-
will always catch my intrigue. It's such a awesome kind of ploy.
Well, it's
You
could
know?
you? It's
I don't want to ever travel with you.
I just mean in terms of movie. Oh no,
Oh,
I would never be. I'm never the type to be like, I hope it happens.
Yeah,
Oh, God, no.
yeah. You're the final
I'm
destination.
not good on planes. I'm
You're-
just
you're-
like the final. Yeah,
You're
I,
Devin Sawa waking
I like
up
to
from
be
a
a
dream.
viewer. Like I would definitely be the guy that would go to gladiator fights. Who would never want to be a gladiator.
Yeah,
But I would go.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
perpetuating fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll throw my money to the gladiator.
I didn't
but
ask
how
for them
dare
to
you.
do it.
Yeah,
but I'll go
yeah.
watch.
I
I'll
Sure.
support it.
I
Yeah,
support violence.
sure.
I support violence. Yeah, so Wylds, for anybody who hasn't, I talked about this for season 1. It's a young adult show, but it's a really great fucking premise because it's not young adult in the subject matter. It's just young adults that are the characters. So plane crash.
So it's like Euphoria on an island.
yeah, no, not
Not yet. Okay.
no.
Not yet.
There's no
Okay.
recorded rape scenes.
Okay, yeah. No, there's no
Uh,
drug use yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
none of that stuff.
They didn't find that cargo yet.
Nope.
Okay.
So they have to survive, and you find out very quick in season 1 that it's a psyop. It's a bunch of head shrinks who are
Oh.
evil, and
Wow.
their idea is to randomly select a bunch of troubled youth who don't know each other,
Of course.
all going away for a retreat, pull the rug out from them, and the retreat turns into a plane crash survival incident
My God.
to test your mettle.
That's wild.
So very, very psyop, very Survivor. If Survivor's real, this is what Survivor would probably be.
Yeah, it's like they Truman showed an actual, like,
But
wow.
but
That's
it's
fucked.
the Lord of the Flies plot,
Of course.
right? So it's dissension amongst the ranks and people learning to love each other and express themselves in a close setting as strangers, which always adds to the fucking conflict. So yeah, that's the premise of season 1. Season 2 is as season 1 ends, it's like, well, we need to look at the control group now, and the control group is the boys on another island.
I actually remember.
Whoa.
I remember how season 1 ends, and now
Yeah.
you say it.
Whoa.
And again, this was like background noise when I watched it, / like me kind of fast
Put
forwarding
some
through some.
serious gray matter into it,
Yeah.
you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
That's an interesting concept.
Well, I will say one of the other reasons why I watched it, because I thought the premise was going to be lost and or Maze Hunter or something like that, or Maze Runner, sorry.
Yeah.
But the one of the actresses in it is from 6 Feet Under, Brenda from 6 Feet Under.
Yes, but you're totally right. Yeah.
And who I'm a big fan of. And
Yeah.
so I was like, I'll watch this show.
She's pulling the strings.
She's
there.
I
pulling
do
the
love
strings.
the
Yeah.
6 Feet Under. That
Yes.
is a
I don't
great
want
show.
to. Season 2 picks up with the girls still experiencing their version of the island.
So they're all in the show still.
They're still in the show.
Okay.
We're flipping back and forth between boys and girls
Interesting.
and how boys and girls deal with it.
So-
So is season 1 all from the girls'
Yes,
perspective?
yes.
And then that's the big thing is like, whoa.
The big
okay,
reveal.
Okay.
So spoiler for Lost, but it's somewhat as if Lost didn't do this, but how season 1 ends and then season 2 they know there's the tailies, like the back end of the plane.
Yeah.
Oh,
somewhere
yeah.
else on the
Very
island,
much
and they
so.
go find them, but they never really showed them till they found
yeah,
them.
you're right. Yeah.
So the same.
Yeah.
Because, okay, I got it.
Thiefs, all of them.
There was, I think it was the year after Lost finished. Me and my
Such a
buddy
sad
were
year.
like,
Yeah.
but me and my buddy were like, what's all this Lost business about? And we just crushed it over a whole summer, and it just consumed us.
Yeah, 26 episodes.
It was a pretty fucking
Back in the day.
wild ride. But if I
Full of-
remember
full of
correctly,
ups and downs and downs.
yeah,
and
you know
downs
what?
and
I didn't hate.
and then Downs
Yeah.
I didn't
in a different
hate
timeline.
the ending as much as everyone, but if I had to wait each week and like each season, I think
That was
because
my
I
question.
got, I think because I got to binge it like and literally watch it as when
Not
I
waste
wanted
so
to
much
and
time.
whatnot, I didn't hate it as much. I could see why people were upset, but I didn't hate it. But then I thought, oh, if I had to wait a season or wait a summer and then wait each week, yeah, I'd be kind of fucking pissed off. Yeah, but
Wilds is very similar. in
season
all
1
of these
ends
regards.
with Locke. The hatch light opens.
Yeah.
Or, like the light goes on.
There's always
right, like Locke's like and then the light. I think if I remember, that's how season
Correct.
1 ends.
100%.
That was
Season-
one of the craziest ends to anything I've ever seen.
Season 1 is amazing. The first few episodes of season 2 is pretty good. Season
Yeah.
3 is bad. Season 4
Who
is
is
mediocre. Season 5 is
Mr.
great.
Mr. Echo was one
Mr.
of my
Echo is so
favorite
good,
characters
and
ever.
they kill him off very fast.
And stupidly.
Yeah, through the monster. The
Stupidly.
monster throws him against the tree. a few
Yeah,
times.
man, it was
giant
so.
smoke
He
monster.
was trying to build a church.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was his thing because he was trying to get redemption because you find out he was like a horrible drug lord. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was a
yes,
he was a
drug
priest
lord.
who became a drug lord, or
That's
vice
right.
versa.
Right.
That's right. And then his way to like repent was he's trying to build like this church again. And
Yeah.
And all the tailies.
And then Charlie.
Yeah,
Charlie.
Charlie.
well, Charlie dies with the hand.
with the
Yeah.
hand. That was such a
not Penny's
heartbreaking
boat.
moment.
That was nuts.
not
That was
Penny's
nuts.
boat.
I actually randomly
nuts.
rewatched.
You all, everybody.
You all, everybody.
Who was the English dude that gets to go in between the two timelines with the
Desmond.
hair?
Desmond.
So that I randomly,
He was the
Hello.
coolest
I randomly
character.
rewatched that episode where he's bouncing
Hello,
Between
brother.
the timelines?
because someone was talking about it on a podcast, and I was like, I should rewatch it. So I randomly just picked that episode and rewatched it a couple months ago, and it still holds up. It's
That's
very
a great
interesting.
storyline.
Wakes
like,
up in Scottish Yard.
yeah, and he
it's like
keeps
Scotland
bouncing,
Yard,
and he
yeah.
needs to find a constant to keep him there. And
Right,
that's
right,
Find his
right.
totem.
His
And
totem,
it's kind
essentially,
of like
yeah.
Time Traveler's Wife, right? Like 'cause
Yes,
he gets sucked in
yes.
and he can't control it. So
Yes.
You had to
go-
watch that.
I just saw a preview and I was like,
I'm so
Claudia,
excited
what
to
is
watch
it?
Time
You're excited for
Traveler.
the new
I like
one?
Leslie
Yeah.
Jones a lot,
I
so when I
don't
saw
even-
it was HBO. It was
No, I'm
like-
just messing with you. I mean,
I just saw the trailer.
Have
Yeah.
you seen the movie?
No.
Oh, it's
I like the
so
cast
good.
though.
Is
It's
it?
what Eric
Oh,
Bana.
Eric
Yeah.
Bana and
Rachel
uh,
McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. It's so good. I saw it in theaters. I cried.
I'll check it out.
And then I rewatched
It's
it.
a cool concept.
I rewatched it recently. I was doing a time travel random, or I was doing like a Rachel McAdams rewatch.
I'm only
and,
going to give it
that's a
eyes
great
because it's
rewatch.
a time travel film.
It's very good. If anything, watch the movie. I can't speak about the show, but I'm excited to at least try it
Yeah.
because I really, really, really like the movie,
Well,
and I'm
and-
gonna read the book. Like that's how much I like the movie.
It sounds like it's a concept that could definitely translate into a show. Like
Oh.
there's enough content there, right, for them to go.
Yeah, apparently, like people who've read the book have said they obviously they didn't put everything in. There's so much in there about time travel. They didn't
Right.
do it, but I actually like what they do in the movies. I think it's like a really interesting, different point of view. I'll say of time travel that
Yeah.
we have not seen fully.
Which is cool, right? And because it's what I think is the coolest thing is it's uncontrollable,
That's the coolest part.
which is neat. So it's
It's-
almost looking at it like a bad thing. Like time
Yeah.
travel's not. Ooh, It's more like fuck.
I can go through like that movie, and like About Time is another one that looks at it from a different point of view where he can control it, but like it's such a he used it
Predestination's my favorite time travel.
That's one I have not seen. It was on the plane when traveling, and I didn't watch it.
Mind Melter.
Should I watch it?
Mind Melter.
Predestination. It's so funny. It was queued up, and I was
Really?
like, I don't know if I should watch it. I don't know anything about
All right.
it.
In short, though, The Wylds, season
Sorry.
2. That's fine.
Long tangent.
Sorry, but Amazon Prime, you said.
Amazon
Amazon
Prime.
I have
season
Prime.
1 and 2.
Okay.
Season 1 and 2.
It got heavily
Full
promoted.
dump.
Yeah.
The only reason it was funny to me is because I'm not done yet, but
I
we're
know.
watching Yellow Jackets.
I know.
So
Oh.
every time we'd see a trailer for The Wilds, I'm like, are they fucking with us? I'm like, are they trying to
Dude.
spoof this or something?
So I'm
'Cause
not
it was like,
I have my opinion about Yellow Jackets, but I would say Yellow Jacket, in my opinion, better show than The Wilds.
Way better than
Yeah.
The Wylds.
but The Wilds is like, you're seeing it more from just them at the age of teenager on the island.
Right.
Okay, cool.
That's
Okay.
their
Yeah.
perspective.
I'll give it a
And
shot, man. It's
it-
Amazon.
You know what? It's fun, too, because a lot of today's, like, they get lost today. They get lost in 2022.
Yeah, like we all are.
So, yeah, exactly.
Good point.
So they have 2022 problems,
Yeah.
Right.
which is
blip.
bullying and
Yeah.
racism and a lot of hot button issues. LGBTQ is in
Yeah.
the show. Girls,
Pandemic.
like
So everything's
no.
at its worst, essentially.
Yeah,
Like how it
but
is. Yeah.
the problems that they
Fuck.
thought they left behind follow them. There's a lot of
You're
allegory.
making me like, why would I want to watch a show that I'm already living in? You
Well, I know. You know what's funny is what popped in my head is I'm like kind of jealous.
Yeah,
of
but
those
dude,
kids getting stuck on
hang
a
on.
fucking
Yeah.
island.
Hang on. All of us are doing it from the comfort of this fucking studio. We're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it from an island.
I am very uncomfortable in the studio.
I know you're not in your chair.
I'm not in my chair.
Out of okay, how many tail sections out of 10 do I give this?
I'm gonna give you how many beach bods out of 10? They're on the beach.
They're on the beach. They're all like
There's boys
malnourished.
now.
They're all malnourished and unfed and sunburnt. So if it's by that, it's like 2. How many plane crashes out of 10? We'll do it.
That's almost better than what I said.
Is it worth me watching?
Yes.
Is it worth me? Okay.
It's in the same vein as
Bob's Burger. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
It's a musical.
Bob's. You'll see the identical
Yeah.
scenes as soon as you know. It's in the same vein as Yellow Jackets.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Great cast of women leading
Cool.
the show because even the boys are involved. The boys are just there. They're the control group. That's what's funny about it. They're
Right.
They're the like. This is what we were basing all our ideas on, and now we know we can do this, and we can tweak it towards the female.
And we're not. Did we get the past stories of the boys?
We do.
Okay, interesting.
The past shit comes out, and the boys have some seriously dark
I'll maybe check it out.
shit. There are 2 scenes that have gone down in the last 3 days that were incredible to watch.
Cool.
Very hard, very intense, but like it jolts you, right? You're
Good
like,
for Amazon Prime for at least pushing.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
if
they've
you're
got all that
saying-
money.
Is it like it's like 40-minute episodes kind of thing?
Yeah, 40, 42, 45.
What I like about Amazon Prime, I will say, is like what you guys are saying, is I like that they're already at near, because they're still pretty young in terms of streaming compared to Netflix, but they're diving into shows that are like pushy already.
Yeah.
Like they're not backing
But they
down.
don't
They're
have
not nervous or
financial
anything.
woes.
That's what I mean. Like even if a show doesn't work out, they're not like, fuck, we're gonna go under. They're fine.
They're making shit not on the algorithm. They're seeing who's watching it, but they're not seeing like Netflix needs an algorithm to make money somehow. Where Amazon just cares, should we bother again?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Prime has the weakest of the shows, though.
They're the weakest link?
In my opinion, like I don't think there's many shows there that have been amazing. I think they've had more misses than hits. I think during COVID, especially, that's when I was like noticing, like, man, that's a miss. That's a miss.
Original
it's
streaming
like-
network shows. We've done this before, but
It's
we
like
did
the
it specifically.
The Boys.
The Boys is a big hit.
The Boys is a huge hit.
Invincible are the 2 that stand out.
But
right
I can say all these like other bad ones that didn't work, like
For
the
sure.
Tales from the Loop, that one with Al Pacino that didn't.
Oh,
go
yeah.
anywhere.
I love that one.
But nothing happened.
But it
I
didn't
know.
Do, it didn't do
I can.
anything,
Oh, fuck, I can't even think. of
Fuck,
others,
was it
but,
such a
like,
good story? It's a graphic novel, right?
It
Oh,
is.
this show's good, but it's not like it got renewed for a second season, but I don't think enough people are watching it. Is the one with the fuck. I saw it and I can't even remember the name, but it's about the werewolf with
Was it called Werewolf?
no,
I
I don't even.
it's
know.
with Sacha Baron Cohen's wife.
I can't
Isla
and find a
Fisher
solution to this.
and fuck. The guy who does the voice of Olaf.
Oh, that guy. I hate that guy.
But anyways,
yeah.
Okay.
this guy gets into a bad car accident, like bad.
Yeah.
And the girl that caused the car accident, they kind of start falling for each other, but she's really weird. And then you find out it's because she's a fucking werewolf.
Interesting.
And it gets
That's
crazy.
a cool idea.
It's
I want to.
cool.
I want to
It's
do
really
more
good.
of. I want to do more of canceled original shows on this format. I really do, because we're on to something here.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all
yeah.
of the shit
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I remember making a list when I was very young about like the best shows that got canceled too early.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's been obviously
there it
YouTube
is, right
shows
there.
that-
But I want to know what you watched.
Oh,
Sorry. 8 out of 10 plane crashes
8 out of 10.
where everyone
crashes.
survives.
Cool.
Where everyone
Yeah.
survives. Nothing
Yes.
is tragic.
Yes.
Yeah, no one has everyone has PTSD, but they're alive and well.
Oh, and then and it's not a very well-known cast, right? Like it's not
No.
huge stars or anything.
no, I think Brenda
I love-
from 6 Feet Under is the biggest one.
She's the biggest.
I like
name.
that these shows are kind of doing that too. They're giving these actors outlets to build their career from. Because Yellow Jackets, there's a lot of female actresses on there that play the young cast that I'm like, I don't know where
They're
these
the best
girls are
part.
from, but
I-
they are
I
fantastic.
do not care about the older cast.
I want to know
I
how it
love
happened.
I
I
have
don't
such a
care
big-
where they are.
I love Christina Ricci though.
I
Like,
love her so
and
much.
she plays this character.
She had such a
good.
small role in Matrix Revolutions. Or
I
whatever
think
it's
that
called.
was they fucked her on a contract, and they're like, so we got to fucking throw you. Anyways,
What'd you watch?
So I will talk about. I have a bunch of stuff I watched 'cause I was on a plane, but I want to talk.
I was on a plane.
I was on a plane. I watched Top Gun Maverick this morning.
Yes, let's go. I think that's the one thing.
That's the one we should probably
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
It's that the Lego sequel that we all never knew we wanted, but it's very good.
that's
it-
literally what I've
It,
read.
it's quite good. It's like the reviews have been crazy, and it's like well deserved to be good. They don't make movies like this anymore. And you know, as someone who wasn't the biggest Top Gun fan, who've seen it maybe 2 to 3 times in total in their life, and watched it late in their life, like it was one of those things. Like I get it, it's fun. I
Yeah.
love Tony Scott. I
Yeah.
fucking love Tony Scott.
Yeah.
And like, and it's just like a really fun, cheesy.
Was it Chris Kamenetsky? Who directed this?
This one is David Kaminsky or something.
David Kaminsky. Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he the guy that did Oblivion with Tom Cruise?
Oh, possibly.
Possibly. I
like
think he also did
Oblivion.
Mission
And then that
Impossible too. Didn't he do a Mission Impossible
no,
with him?
he's
No.
never done Mission.
No,
But
no, that was Christopher. It's been
McQuarrie.
Christopher McQuarrie.
But
done
That's who
Christopher
I'm sorry,
McQuarrie is a producer on this.
Yeah.
He helped shape the project, pilot it with Tom Cruise. So there's a lot
Pilot
of
it
like,
literally.
but yeah, right. But like there is a lot of I think hands involved. It does feel like a version of a Mission Impossible movie at times. Like it just because it has this like fucking drive, this
Yeah.
feel about it that just like it goes, and it's just like fun, cheesy. You'll giggle because it knows what it's doing
Does
so
it?
well.
So it does. It does some callbacks to 80s.
Oh
like
yeah, for sure.
Yes.
The
100%.
volleyball scene happened.
Please
Yeah.
tell me, is Danger Zone played in it?
Do you want to know?
Yeah, I do.
I don't think it was, from what I remember. And
Those are rights problems. That's
Yeah,
not
probably, more than anything.
It's
But
not.
I could see
I
Kenny
didn't stay-
Loggins re-recording.
I
it.
didn't stay for the full end credits. Like I didn't.
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
like, so then
okay,
maybe
yeah,
he
yeah.
played it again.
Do you know
at the
why?
end.
Do you know why? I bet you know why. Because they gave Lady Gaga that big hit.
They sorry,
Oh,
yeah,
that's funny.
Lady Gaga.
They
has a
wanted
song,
to-
One
But the
Republic has a
original
song.
one had a ballad to it. It had Take My Breath Away.
Yeah,
It was the
Take
big.
Yeah, by Loverboy.
Was
Well,
the big
there's Take My Breath
ballad.
Away, but like
That was the big ballad
Yeah.
on
Love
it.
You in Heaven or something was Loverboy too.
Yeah.
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 But
Kinda-
anyways, yeah.
Top Gun itself. Is,
Does he look like a almost 60-year-old man?
Well, so let me. This is the one thing I will say, and again, no spoilers. But Tom Cruise is playing his age in this. Like they call him out for being an old guy, for calling him Grant.
So he's finally accepting it.
He's finally accepting it.
But he
and-
is,
which
right?
Is why,
Like, he
which
is.
Which is like, and before the movie, they showed a trailer of the new Mission Impossible film, and
Oh,
I'm like,
that
and I'm
looks
so
great.
excited.
Oh, it looks
like,
good.
And it's, I feel like because they're doing a part 1, part 2 for this last one. I think it's going to be the last one.
It's
and I
got to
think,
be, because then why do that?
But like also like I think he's coming to terms of his age because
Yeah.
he can't no
Yeah.
longer. And Jennifer Connelly's in it as well. Obviously playing the
Yummy.
love interest. Yeah, but
She's
she is like
beautiful.
she is age appropriate for Tom Cruise at this
Yeah,
point.
you're
which
right.
Is like,
You're right.
thank
Oh, so they
God.
didn't go with
Not
a
like
younger
Megan
female.
Fox. Well, it's
Yeah,
not like they
yeah.
made Megan
Or,
Fox,
like,
right?
I don't know
Like
if any of you guys
ridiculous.
watched The Mummy, the Tom Cruise Mummy.
Yeah.
But like he was like trying to go after this 25-year-old.
Yeah, it was
year
gross.
Old. Like it was
The
weird.
whole movie, you're like, this is weird,
You know,
man.
like so. I think it's anyways. It's well worth the watch. I highly
Dope.
recommend it.
So,
That's
how's
that.
Miles Teller? Miles Teller's good?
He's fun in it. Like
Yeah.
I'm a Miles Teller's fan.
Tell
And
him what his call sign is.
Rooster.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's great.
Great call sign.
That's great.
You
There's
know,
Rooster and there's another good one.
So,
There's
but-
Hangman, Rooster.
Yeah.
But like what
Yeah.
we're looking at, like, you know, the bare minimum obviously is like the most important thing this movie has to do is the flight scenes. And
Oh,
from
it's
what I'm reading,
incredible.
it's nuts. Eh?
It's
Like,
incredible. It's IMAX worthy. It's
Yeah.
100% IMAX.
Every-
So
Everybody-
before Multiverse of Madness, did you guys see? They showed like
Yeah,
an 8-minute extended. That blew my
I didn't
mind.
see that. I missed it. I'm glad I missed
That's
it.
when I was like, I want to see
No,
this.
I don't-
That was the first thing that
I don't
made me
need.
want to
I
see
don't
it.
need that. They did that for the Mummy too, actually.
Oh, the Mummy's so
for Tom
bad.
Cruise, they did like a long trailer.
They needed to for that one because that movie sucks.
Well, there is a sequence in that is very good. I will say.
When the
There's-
things-
yeah,
when
he's
crashing.
filing, he crashes. he
Yeah,
wakes up in
that
a
was
body bag.
unreal. That was
Yeah.
so cool.
It's
but
very
that's
good.
literally the beginning of the movie.
I know. No,
and
I
then
know.
that's it.
I know. Like, I want to rewatch that movie now.
I in it, Ian, they show you. So Cruise is the only one flying, right?
Right.
That's confirmed. He's actually piloting.
Yeah,
the
he has
plane.
his license for it.
So
Oh, yeah.
So,
It's
but
madness.
everybody else is cockpit scenes.
Whatever, however they shot it, it looks all believable.
They taught them how to position lights and act to which camera. So every time they went up, all of the main cast had to learn how to film their scenes on their own
Oh,
so
I
that they
see.
could all be in a plane
That's cool.
separately.
That's fucking cool.
And then they piece it together because
That's how you should. Like, I
you'd,
mean,
you'd
for-
have to run one plane, do one scene, run
Right.
one plane.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they put them all up for the fight scenes. So they're dog fighting
Yeah.
in their own planes,
Yeah.
acting as if they're flying in a real plane
Yeah, and they're really
that's
reacting
being
with
flown,
each other.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're
That's
they're
cool.
reacting to how that flight sequence and how that pattern of flight would feel.
Well, and you know what? That sounds like a really nice like tribute and homage to Tony Scott, because the way Tony Scott filmed it in the 80s was revolutionary for that time.
For sure.
And they didn't have the technology that they do now, right?
Yeah,
To make it
the
even
cockpit
better.
scenes are rudimentary, right? But
They didn't
they're
even have
good.
cameras that could fit in those
Yeah,
cockpits.
like
Like,
they're-
that's why when they show the cockpit scenes
They're
in the original one,
close-ups, they're
yeah,
tight.
like you can
Yeah,
tell,
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're in a studio and
Yeah.
they're shaking, right? Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
a rock set.
yeah,
right?
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
can totally tell. But what's also nuts is that Tom went from that first one to now being like, yeah, I really fly it,
Yeah, I know.
right? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's me doing it
Yeah,
now.
for
so
sure.
But like,
fucking
okay,
nuts.
for a
Crazy.
guy who
Crazy.
has pushed, push it to the limit, right?
Yeah.
Like he's in the danger zone. He lives the danger zone.
Yeah.
Like as soon as Top Gun was made, I think that's when we lost like Risky Business Tom Cruise and we got today's Tom Cruise. I think Top Gun might have been
Ethan Hunt was being born
yeah,
after Top
right?
Gun.
Yeah,
like
that's a good-
everything we
that's a
have
good
today
question. I don't know.
is because and like that movie
Also, Days of Thunder, right? You
Right?
could tell
Days of Thunder.
he clearly had that edge where he had an adrenaline.
and Days of Thunder's
It's been
off
an
Top
adrenaline
Gun.
junkie, which we've never
Yeah.
even really known.
Yeah.
Until now, you realize you're like, yeah, he's totally because
Yeah.
he is. He's got to be, right? Like he's got to
Yeah.
be a little bit of an adrenaline junkie doing all that shit. And like the latest, you mentioned the Mission Impossible trailer.
Yeah.
That last clip.
I
Now
know.
they're letting you read about that's his craziest stunt yet. Yeah, he fucking drives
Drove
off
a
a mountain.
motorcycle off the cliff. Yeah,
That's insane.
I was saying to my friend when we were watching that trailer, I was like, "Is this how the movie ends?" You know, like
That's his goodbye.
That's his goodbye moment.
Yeah.
We just saw it in there. You
Right?
know?
And they sent out an animatronic from Disney for the premiere.
Or you see it's smoke, and
Yeah,
then in the
yeah,
distance it's flying, and the motorcycle
Yeah,
is
it's
actually
it's
just
Batman.
flying.
Batman. Whatever. Like the
Yeah, it's got the wings that pop out from
It's
the
a
side.
plane.
Dark Knight
Oh my
Rises.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's in
Yes.
France.
just looks across.
Yeah, he looks at Jerry Bruckheimer at a coffee shop and gives him a little wave.
But I agree with you. Like, it's got to be his way of saying, like, I'm saying, like, Mission Impossible doesn't have to end, but his run of Ethan Hunt is good.
They tried to do that. They tried to give a handoff to Jeremy Renner, and it didn't
Oh
work.
yeah, now he's not even associated with it anymore. Like,
I don't think
he's-
so.
Yeah, because
I
he
don't
hasn't
think
been
he's
in the last
new one.
No,
He was in Fallout.
he was in 2 of them. Yeah,
He was in Fallout.
and
He's
then the
in
one
4, 5,
after-
6.
Yeah, there you go.
which
Right,
is the
right,
one
right.
where Henry loads his biceps.
Oh,
Fallout.
that's the most
That's 6.
recent one. That's the
That's
most
6.
recent. Yeah,
I rewatched Rogue One on the plane. Rogue Nation on the plane.
that's a great. Yeah,
that's 5, which
5 is-
with Alec
Rebecca, yes, and Rebecca Ferguson.
That's
Alec
where they
Baldwin's in
first-
4 as well.
That's where they first introduced Rebecca Ferguson's
Correct.
character.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they bring back
Yeah.
Michelle Monaghan's character.
Yeah. And
I do part of
in
me.
6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fallout. I can fucking play this game all day, guys. I was like, I know my Mission
They're
Impossible.
good, man. They're good.
They're
we
so
should
good.
we should
Even
do a Mission
2, I
Impossible
just-
trivia
Oh yeah,
show.
I can.
I
fucking
just
burn
watched
through
2
that one.
for John Woo's just
2's so
insane.
bad.
But it's so John Woo.
Yeah, I
though.
know.
It's why I just love that motorcycle scene. Is so John Woo.
Duggery Scott
Uh,
on the
yeah.
motorcycle.
I love what's her
Imagine
face.
him as Wolverine. Imagine if we got that world.
Oh,
that
thank
would have been
God that didn't
nuts.
happen.
That would have been nuts.
Yeah.
I think he would have been recasted for the second one. I'm not gonna lie. Nothing against him. I feel like it would have happened.
Otherwise, yeah.
How many How many flybys?
I would
How many
say-
tower
I'm gonna
flybys?
give it like an 8.5,
Ooh.
maybe a 9. Yeah, let's say 9 flybys.
I heard
Love
there's
it.
a shot in it that they actually wrecked the set.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, they only could do one
there's
take.
There's a clip going around because when they did, I think it's part of some sort of flyby something.
Yeah.
And like when the afterburners kicked on, it just like wrecked the set.
Like it blew it.
I
It
think
blew it
I
off.
think I might know the scene because it might be in the beginning, but I didn't hear about this, so it just looked like it was like, how the fuck they do that? That's
It
what I
said
thought when I
it
watched
literally
it.
said that was the only take they could get because
Yeah.
they were like, we're not going to put that fucking back together for you
Okay,
guys to
I
do
think
another
I think that
take.
might be something I did notice, but it looked fucking like, wow, that looks intense.
Yeah,
when
it
it
worked.
happened.
It's one of those shots that you do where you're like, we don't need another take
Yeah.
because it's like
So good.
perfect and it does its job. Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You got some Wylds, you got some Bob's Burgers, and you've got Top Gun Maverick.
Toop, toop.
And
Do they explain how they get their names too in this movie?
Their
Like
call signs?
Rooster, their call
No,
signs. No,
they never
just
do.
have them?
They just
Okay,
introduce each other.
So
like
pretty
that.
much
No,
like
we-
Top Gun
It's like
1.
X-Men. How did they
Yeah.
fucking get their name in X-Men?
Yeah, Rogue.
I know we're
I'm
not.
running away.
I just want to say we're not pretending that Val Kilmer's nowhere near this, but
I know he's in it.
I mean, I know he's in it.
Yeah.
Is it well treated?
Well treated.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear the whole thing about his with this?
I watched
cancer?
Val.
So Val was, and it was
Incredible.
so
I liked it.
incredible.
Yeah.
And he's such a natural born filmmaker, which
Yeah.
is wild. I never knew that side.
Oh,
about
his
him.
He's also
doc
a piece.
that he
He's,
did?
he's an asshole too.
Oh, he
apparently.
is big
Yeah.
asshole. That's
Yeah.
why he kind of got like he kind of had no like MacGruber was his last big thing,
Yeah.
right? Like for
Was it
kind
Kiss
of a
Kiss Bang
reason.
Bang?
No, MacGruber was after because by MacGruber he's like pretty. He's putting on.
He
a
was
lot
also
of weight.
big in Kiss Kiss
He's
Bang
starting to
Bang,
get
too.
big.
Yeah.
No, but not he, in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He's still in believable shape. I'm telling you, MacGruber. He's like got no neck. He's like this.
Yeah.
He's big. But so in the movie, I read this quickly and it blew my mind. The biggest company in the world for AI technology for voice recognition is in Britain. They took all of Val Kilmer's like films, every audio thing he's ever done.
Oh, they redid
and
it.
they redid and they rebuilt his voice and that's how they use it in the movie, but apparently it's a permanent thing now. So now when he talks in the voice box, it's his voice.
Oh, interesting.
Because they're using the same because I heard in the movie he has dialogue or something and it's his voice. And like as we all know, at least if you've seen Val, he does not have a voice anymore.
Oh, it's a very
So
like.
it's like a voice
like,
box,
yeah.
like recorder
really
thing.
nice.
Okay.
So apparently now that's how it's actually being done, and these guys are like, it's becoming a huge thing now because it's like it could revolutionize that kind of
Right.
thing for people that like need that assistance with lost voice or whatnot.
Sure. Yeah.
So, but it's live is what's nuts. Is it's like he talks with it and it live translates with the algorithm of his voice in this recording. It's insane.
Yeah.
Anyways, it just blew my mind, and I'm like, I hope that could somewhat, I don't know, it'd be cool to see Val back in some way, and it's neat that he's in that movie. I'm happy that they honor him because I heard he
agree.
had to fight. I heard he had to like that's what he said. He had to fight for it with the producers like hard.
I'm sure Tom probably fought for it too.
Oh, I'm sure as soon as Tom was like, "No, we're doing it,"
Yeah.
they're like, "Okay."
They have to. Tom is invested.
Tom runs the show.
He runs the show.
Yeah,
for
he
sure
runs
he
the
does.
show, and
I
for
think
good
it's-
reason. For good
there's-
reason.
It's his
Yeah.
property. It's like Vin Diesel
Yeah.
and Fast.
Like, did you see his response? I got to admit, it was brilliant when he said, "I make movies for the theater. I don't make movies
Yeah.
to stream." I'm like, he's not being a dick. He's just being honest.
Yeah.
Right? He's a theater guy. He's a popcorn. He's a blockbuster guy.
Yep.
He's always been.
So
Can't hate the guy for it.
that's your watch list, ladies and gentlemen, and you should check it all out because we know exactly what we're talking about each week here at the Reel Debaters. That said, on the docket this week, segment number 1, Bio Pics. Bio Pictures, the way that I learn about the world. I don't read. I don't travel as enough as
our
I should.
history.
I just go, everything I know about shit from movies. And sure, a lot of it I've had to come to terms with being like, yeah, it's probably not accurate. They might be stretching the truth, being a little more liberal than you might think when it comes to the true version of it. But nonetheless, I don't know. First question, are biopics like the most approachable and beloved genre? Like if you just painted the whole world with, the idea that biopics are the best, do you think most people would just gravitate to them?
I think there's an audience for them for sure. I think there's something about putting your real life perspective into some. I think it's easier for people to watch a biopic than watch a documentary. So I think there is like a home for it that we have to continue making them for certain people. I think it's funny when they make them for the wrong type of people. Like when you have a movie like Vice, that you go like, I don't really want to know about this guy.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't do well, and it you know, you kind of question and you go, why? What made you want to make this or write this, or like why do you think this is a story worth telling? Because you know, in some sense, so I think that's the important thing when it comes to biopic is like, is this a story worth telling of someone that's memorable in some way?
Yeah. At the same time, okay, so Vice is one of those, because Dick Cheney's a piece of shit,
Right.
but
Yeah, that's interesting.
if no one wants to read about it, Vice is the quickest way to find out that this guy used every excuse he possibly could to go do a thing he shouldn't have done.
Right. Well, and there was also the what's the one on Bush? That was
W.
W. Yeah.
Josh Brolin.
Oliver Stone, I think. Maybe?
Oliver Stone, yeah.
right.
Which that one plays him up to be a hapless drunk.
Yes, correct.
And useless,
Yeah.
and somebody who had to like it's. I guess it's okay to make it, but it's how you make it.
Approach it. Yeah.
And Vice is a little bit more about how this man came to power, and it was like, no, I want to know. Like, we should make about how he abused power.
Right.
We all know how these guys come into power.
Right.
It's when they fuck up. That's what should be spent. We should spend money on
Right.
to tell that story. But
I also
I don't know. What do you think,
Vice
Charles?
always makes me think of like. It's also one of those movies where a lot of the hype is Christian Bale put on all this weight to do it.
I agree. I think
And
that
it's
was
the
hype.
method.
And it's Adam McKay.
and it
because
felt-
I
yeah.
cared more about watching the movie because of that than anything. Because
Well,
I don't like Dick Cheney. Like, I don't
Adam
give a
McKay
shit.
was coming off of The Big Short,
That's
which
right.
was nominated for a bunch of Oscars.
Right.
And so this was another try of Oscar play, which didn't do it.
No, it didn't
It
hit.
got really bad reviews overall. And yeah, so I think that's what it felt like. It felt like just a wave of like, this might get people stirred,
Yeah.
you know?
Because I feel like if it wasn't Bale and he didn't do what he did, no one would have actually gave a shit.
Agreed. Yeah.
Even more than they already
I
didn't.
would compare it to like Fahrenheit 9/11 and
Yeah.
then Michael Moore making Sicko after that, being like, this will stir,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And it was more just to be like, meh.
I stirred with this. I want to keep the.
Yeah,
I want to keep
yeah.
the drain going.
Yeah.
Right.
It's interesting too, because like, do you think when they were wanting to make the movie, like, there's Christian Bale putting on a fat suit, and he's like, okay, 10 million, and then there's
I
Christian
don't think
Bale.
he put on a fat
well,
suit.
no. What my point is
Yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
it's like, but for 20 million, I'll go
Yeah.
method.
I'll go
Yeah.
meth. Right.
Yeah.
And
I'll
I'll-
eat this burger.
yeah,
20 million.
right,
And I'll kill my heart.
Yeah.
right. I'll
Yeah.
do, but it's you
Yeah,
got to give
no,
me
I see,
20. So
totally.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and in that,
And did he not get nominated or?
I think he got nominated.
He might have been nominated.
Right,
That's
right,
all.
right.
There
Like
was
there,
no
it was
way.
very little.
And I feel like I don't know this for sure, but I just think of it from an athlete or just career standpoint.
Yeah,
Nominated or winning, that definitely just gives you a starting higher salary cap now.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
imagine.
It
Yeah,
does.
well,
yeah,
it's-
Rook-
it's a-
rookie versus
So
pro.
Christian
It's a
Bale
credible on a
probably
trailer.
didn't do it to be like Dick Channing is one of my heroes. He did it
Right.
because he knew getting that fat, whatever, methoding. It got him a nomination, and now his
Methoding.
now he's starting to go to Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, right? I'm
He-
sure when he went to
he is-
Marvel, he was like, "Hey, so I started this."
Do you want
now.
Gore the God Butcher
Yeah,
to
like,
look
dude,
skinny?
how
I'll do
skinny
it.
or big do you want me to be? I'll do it right now.
He's
Like,
chasing that Oscar, I think.
Yeah.
Without like with not like hard like other people you see it, but like he has been chasing the Oscar. I think very
He's DiCaprio now.
He's trying, yeah, and
well,
he deserves
he
it.
got it for The Fighter, didn't he? Did he not get it for The Fighter?
Nominated, maybe.
I think he won for The Fighter. No,
Did
he
he
won.
win?
Yeah,
No.
he won.
Somebody fact check that. No, we don't pay anybody.
I'm
to
pretty
do
sure he won for The Fighter. I think he
I don't
did.
think he won for The Fighter.
that. All right, now I
Shit,
gotta.
man.
Fucking
I'm
do
pretty
this.
He
sure
was nominated.
He won for something. I
Fuck,
think he
now
got
we all
an
gotta
Oscar.
look.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Because isn't that why he did one more Batman and then he's like, I'm gonna fuck off for a bit because like he did it. You
Like-
got your superhero money. You got your Oscar.
I don't.
If
think
he didn't
so.
get his Oscar for The Fighter, I want to know who
like,
did.
because he does a movie like Ford and Ferrari.
Because didn't
and
he
all these
actually
things.
smoke crack for that? Like,
No.
didn't he? He
No.
basically said like he did everything but
okay.
crack.
He's got an Oscar in his
He
hand.
did. You're right. He won. He won.
Did he win for The Fighter?
Yeah, you're
Christian
right. Best
Bale
performance in
winning.
a supporting role.
Best
Yeah, 'cause he-
supporting actor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
best
Miss-
supporting,
Miss
right.
Melissa Leo also won for
That
best
was
supporting
right.
actress.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
They were nominated for best
His
film.
speech was really good. I remember his
Yeah.
speech was
Fighter
good.
was nominated for a lot.
He was in that brown tux.
Yeah.
And his
yeah,
hair was all
He had the
flowing,
beard.
and
He had the beard.
I
going.
do not remember this.
Yeah.
Very impressive that
He
you guys do.
dedicated like
Left
the
an
whole
impression
end.
on me.
Yeah, clearly.
He dedicated the whole end of it to his
Okay,
wife.
okay.
That's what's
All
nice.
right.
Anyways,
So-
Biopics.
So biopics.
Biopics,
Yeah.
yes.
So all right, good, but good idea. Like, should you, shouldn't you? Who do you make them on? Who do you not make them on?
Yeah.
What was your first? Charles. Like big
That I
biopic.
knew of?
Yeah,
That
one
I,
that
like,
one that
knew
you
of?
one that you went off screen to like look at shit on. Like did you go to
Oh,
Wiki-
that I was like, yeah, I
like,
gotta
do you remember one of
see
those? Like I wanted to know if 7 years
everything
in,
about this
yeah,
person.
I
kind
wanted
of
to know if
thing.
7 years in Tibet he actually did it, right?
Right.
Like that kind of shit.
Is
Like
that considered a biopic?
I don't.
That's a
It,
very
it
good
does.
question.
I don't hang. Well, I've got the list here, but it's not
That's
like
a really good question.
Donnie
It's not
Darko. No, he went off and really did.
I was like,
that.
yeah, like Neo.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Where did Neo
Dewey
start?
Cox.
walk hard.
I mean, I was like, there's no real movie. There's
Okay.
but like, I got obsessed with the Beatles in junior high that I like had to look up everything.
And you were
about
like, "Is a
them.
Hard Day's Night as real as it looks?"
Well, yeah, like I watched their real movies, but I wouldn't say they were biopics. It was just
Yeah,
them
I would
being
consider
fucking
them
little
biopics,
kids
yeah.
running around, right?
Yeah,
Sure,
exactly.
It's like making a Spice Girls movie. Like I wouldn't say
Yeah,
that's their biopic.
that's not a biopic.
Yeah. But
I think a biopic has to not star the actual people.
the one that I
Rule number
like,
one.
I didn't even know that it was a real biopic when I was a kid.
Sure,
it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
because it was Robin Williams, was Patch Adams, but that was one
that's
that I
a,
just
that's,
never
that's a very
stopped.
acceptable one.
That-
That's
never stopped
100%
watching.
acceptable.
Yeah, that's a very.
I like never like that was one that I like ran the VHS out and whatnot.
Weird.
Like
It's
I went,
so
yeah,
good.
man. Like I went to Cinema City 8 with
I
my
saw it
dad
at Cinema City 8 too.
and like
Yeah.
junior high,
That's
and
funny.
me and my dad just bonded over it, and I loved Robin. Like everybody did after
Right.
Genie, right? But that was a movie where I was like, he's a real doctor, and like Robin
Right.
Williams is a doctor. Like you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah. It's incredible
you know,
that he
like-
went to med school.
yeah.
And then invited all of the gynecologists to show up with the spread legs
Yeah.
and vagina.
It's a little wet, but watch your step.
watch that
Oh,
first
fuck.
step. After that, it's a doozy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those things that you watched later, and I was like, "That's what that joke was." Didn't understand that when I was a kid.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now I'm like, got it now. But no, it was like Patch Adams was
That's
one.
exactly
It was-
the question.
And that was the movie that Philip Seymour that every time I would see
Oh,
him,
yeah,
I'm
he's in
like
that.
the dude from Patch Adams,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I realized how amazing of an actor he was because in Patch Adams he's an asshole,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then he's awesome at the end.
He's only awesome after the balloons.
Yes, yeah.
The balloons kind of
Yeah.
lighten him up. Like
Yes.
that's the prank they play on.
It's
him.
because he realizes that Patch is, while he is, outlandish, he knows his shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was the thing.
Well, it's
So
just
he pissed
another.
everyone
It was
off,
another way to treat people.
Yeah.
Ian, what about you?
He just, yeah.
The one that I remember fully, and the one I owned DVD for or did for a long time, and watched regularly was Walk the Line with
Oh, yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix.
yeah.
that's a good one.
And Reese Witherspoon, which
Yeah.
I also believe Reese Witherspoon won supporting actress.
She
for or
did,
something
She
like
did.
She
Yeah,
did
they
win for
both.
that.
They both won.
I don't think he won. He won for Joker in the end.
Oh,
No,
that's-
yeah,
he was
He was
nominated.
nominated but didn't win. I
That's
think
right.
DDL probably, if he was nominated that year, he took it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, it was a movie. I don't know why I really liked it. I think I was having a very big music stage in my life, and I was just getting into so many different genres. Johnny Cash was just opening my eyes at that point for country. That was my not that I like country music, but Johnny Cash I really liked.
Yeah.
And I watched Walk the Line a bunch, and it was something about like I like broken artist stories.
Yeah.
I think his particular because his is very that's the movie the like pivotal movie that Dewey Cox makes fun of.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Very
it is.
much.
It is.
And which
It
is fine.
Fucking
And there's
love
something
Walk the Line.
it's so good.
There
But
you
there
go.
but
Or
it's
Walk Hard.
it's something
Yeah.
about that movie that really works on me.
Walk hard.
It's just so
Well,
funny.
what's cool about it too is I'm pretty sure Joaquin sang,
he did, and
for
Reese
it.
Witherspoon too.
and then John C. Reilly actually sang clearly
Yep.
for Walk Hard.
Yep.
So it's that he still treated it the same way anybody would a biopic.
It-
like he
it's-
went, but like Walk the Line is
A mockumentary.
I think Johnny Cash, particularly compared to like Ray and all these other ones that are similar, is he seemed like an asshole from the start.
Yeah, I was
like-
gonna say Johnny Cash's was always the sad guy from the beginning. There
Yeah,
was never
like-
that like downfall. It seemed like he was always in his.
He was like the
downfall.
real life Inside Llewyn Davis, except he got successful, which I love.
Yeah.
Inside Llewyn Davis a lot about
so
broken
do I.
artists. You know, like I love broken artist stories, and there's something
Yeah.
about his like detriment of just like
there a reason
being
for
a
that?
because
little
Johnny
asshole.
really
yeah,
just
probably.
he
Yeah.
sabotaged himself more than anything.
Yeah, I
like
think
that's
so.
what it
like,
was.
Like him hiding the drugs in his
Yeah,
car and stuff is
right.
very interesting. Like he's a piece
Right.
of shit.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
Man in Black. Like there's some coolness
Well, and that's
about
why
it.
he loved inmates and he performed
Yeah.
in prisons because he's like,
Oh, I
this
love
is the
that.
one room where I'm
Yep.
not the biggest piece of shit. Let's
Yeah.
say in the room.
So
You
that
know,
one
like-
holds very strong in my head for whatever reason.
That
I
was a
don't
good
know.
one.
Like that yeah.
I actually, funny enough, you mentioned that I loved it, and I actually bought the Walk the Line soundtrack.
Oh, so good.
And loved the way Reese Witherspoon and Johnny Cash sang those
Sang,
songs.
yeah.
And when I hear the originals, I love it, but I actually really
Yeah,
love
that's-
the way that Joaquin Phoenix.
I listen
sang
to that
those
soundtrack
songs.
a lot too.
It's good, man.
I have an honorable mention though. I would
Sure,
like
do
to
it. Yeah,
throw
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
I'm Not There, which is the Bob Dylan.
Oh, yeah.
Where like
Bob Dylan at different points in his
yeah,
life.
at different point played by
Kate
multiple different actors.
Kate Blanchett blew my mind. In that
Yeah,
one.
Christian Bale as well. And,
Yeah.
there's a lot of actors. It's definitely one like I have not revisited in a long time, but I think
It's an
about regularly.
artistic biopic.
It's a very interesting movie.
Yeah. It's not as cut and dry as your standard 3-act.
This is what I wanted to say about biopic thing too. Is like again going back to something like the Beatles.
Yeah.
I've always thought about like, to me the Beatles is such a big thing, especially being a band and whatnot. It's like because
They're
even
earth
Bohemian,
moving.
because even Bohemian Rhapsody, like it's Freddie Mercury's the story,
Yeah.
right? But like what I think they should do, because something like that, like Across the Universe, I felt like was
Ooh.
the real best biopic for the Beatles.
Shauna would hardcore agree with you. She balls.
Oh,
when that
dude,
movie's
man!
on.
The first time I watched, because I hardcore. I was going through my phase 2 still when that movie came out.
Dolores from
We-
Westworld is in that too.
We just dropped
everyone told
shrooms
me.
and went and saw that, and it was like it's one of those life changing, like their music. It changes.
yes,
you.
it does.
You go through something. You feel it. And I feel like something like even Rocket Man, I liked more because it was still kind of like the Across the Universe approach, but they kind
was
of
a
had
little
Elton
magical.
telling it.
yeah.
It was like saying Elton was telling his story, but they still had that magical aspect. And I feel like with bands and stuff like that, that's the best approach, because it's really more the celebration of the music than me wanting to know, oh, they all did drugs in their dressing room at the same time at one point every day.
Get out of here, Dewey.
You
don't want this.
Yeah, right. I think I kind of want it now.
Yeah.
I don't want no
It makes
hangover.
sex better.
I don't want no hangover. It doesn't give you
You a
one.
I
I don't want to get addicted to it.
I always circle back to this like every few months, but a good Beautiful Mind watch is
Oh, dude, good
one
pull.
of my.
It's a great one.
It's a great one. It's one I also revisit a bunch. Yeah,
And I think it's because biopics are usually
so good.
It's somebody who's somebody whose life is somewhat unattainable, right? Like Elton John,
Yeah.
Freddie
Yeah.
Mercury. Like these are other. He was a normal dude, just a
Yeah.
really smart, a beautiful mind, right?
Yeah.
And he got schizophrenia.
Yeah,
And everyone always questions their reality, and it's such a great telling of him questioning his what's real, what's not. Do I work for the CIA? Is Ed Harris real? Who's this little girl? Is Paul Bettany really like it just pulls at you, because as soon as it reveals that for him it's been that long that he's been going crazy, you feel it in the film. And it's just it's more on an
Soul-crushing,
approachable level than watching someone's epic journey, right? And all the big things they've done, right? Where you're watching Churchill, right? When you see like these are big swings, where this is just a guy trying to get through life, have a kid, have a family, be a professor, produce papers, and he was so desperate for attention and approval that as a child who's got a shitty dad, I'm like, I see you, Russell.
I always
I get you, buddy.
I love the opening. I just always remember the opening of that movie, and I'm pretty sure is the opening is he's at a party outside, and he looks at that dudede's tie, and then he finds a mathematical equation of how bad he laughs.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
gets the joke.
And
he
somebody
goes,
says
there's
to
a
him-
mathematical equation of how ugly your tie is.
Yes.
And everyone's like, you're a dick.
yeah.
And he's not being a dick, but it's like that's when you start realizing like his brain is never stopping.
No,
ever.
it does. It sees things
Ever.
we don't see.
Never.
I also just appreciate the twist in that movie, which is a Fight Club twist, but it still kind of holds up
With
so
Paul
well.
Bettany,
With
right?
Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
With everybody.
It holds up with
Yeah.
Ed Harris, Paul Bettany, with
Right?
the little
And what is
girl.
it? Because the little girl never ages.
Yes.
And then you start
Yeah.
realizing, and you're like, oh yeah,
That's the red knob.
oh yeah.
It's funny
Right.
because
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
I went to see that movie with my dad, and we watched it, and I remember like him being like, what happened? I was like, none of them are real. He's sick. He has schizophrenia. He's like, oh, and then he was so like, he just loved it so much after that he took my mom, and then he got that point happened, and he had to explain it to my mom at like the same point in theater. So it was just one of those things, like when he understood it, he just loved it even more.
Right? Because yeah,
I don't know. It was like the old dad syndrome where he's like,
Yeah.
this is too hard to understand. But when I explained it, he was like, that's genius.
and he's like, I get it now. And he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And it's
that
like you're
straight
in
to-
on it. Now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's
It's
great.
a really
That's great.
a really good movie. It's actually funny. I was gonna rewatch that on the plane. I did a lot of movie rewatches while traveling. So
Rewatch is just as good as a new watch.
yeah,
And what it is you know what I like about rewatches is the older you get, you start looking at a different
You
aspect.
appreciate it a
Yeah,
lot
and you
more.
appreciate
Yeah,
like
it's another go around.
right.
yeah. I a quick rewatch I did was where I was like, oh, so good. Trainwreck. which is Amy Schumer comedy, which I'm like, this is a pretty
yeah.
Bill Hader, and
Yeah.
and 21 Jump Street. I'm like, fuck, these are
21
great comedies.
so
Great
Such
comedies.
gold comedies.
Yeah.
And Brie Larson's
What's-
like a little baby.
What's
in
your
it.
favorite basketball team? The Portlanders.
Oh, yeah. There's some good one. Like I
Yeah.
watched it mainly for Bill Hader, but then I was like, this is a funny movie.
You know, and LeBron's actually funny.
Very
in it.
good. Yeah,
he can hold
he's
it.
actually
he
good.
keeps trying not to pay. He's like,
Yeah.
like I don't want to pay for. He's like,
Yeah.
You fucking pay, dude.
Yeah,
like
that's
Bill,
right. That's a
Bill
good running
Hader is
joke.
my MVP, man. I love that. Dude.
My
shit.
my
Piece of shit.
follow up, and I like Donnie Brasco. It was a
Oh,
rewatch.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
my
yeah,
movie.
Yeah, yeah. That's
great
Like,
right.
pull, great pull.
That's
But
right. That's a good one.
Listener, I've been trying to contribute new
That's a
film to the
very
group.
underrated Pacino and Depp
Depp,
movie. Like
yeah.
when you
Well,
talk
yeah.
about both of them,
Yeah.
that movie doesn't get brought
After-
up often.
After I brought up this idea, I then was like, "Yeah, I want some Johnny Depp that's not plagued in drama."
Or Pirates.
You know
Pirates,
what?
right?
Speaking
So I
of
like,
Pacino too, Serpico.
yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
biopic
Yeah.
too.
that is,
also.
yeah, Attica.
Scarface.
Yeah.
Scarface a biopic? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I don't
if-
even know either. That was
Which
it's
one?
based on every drug dealer who
Yeah.
feels that they're represented on screen.
Which one?
Yeah.
Scarface.
Um,
Tony Montana.
you know, it's funny.
I would say like it's not directly, but Blow is like Blow
Yeah,
is,
Blow.
which is
Yeah.
another Depp. I
Goodfellas.
guess. Yeah, that's right. Speaking of which,
Goodfellas.
Like, is a
yeah.
biopic something that has to be on the nose for you, or is it just like there's
I
the,
see what
there's,
you mean.
Yeah,
there's the
I think-
kind that is a story
Yeah, like
that's played
Ray.
out on screen.
I would say if it's about specifically a person and their
Yeah.
journey through a life or system or whatever, I would consider that biopic. I rewatched another rewatch Steve Jobs on the plane, Danny Boyle, and that I would
Oh,
consider
Fassbender. Is that
yes,
Fassbender?
that I would consider
It's a great movie.
biopic. Even though they don't show him from birth to death.
No, it's
but they
fragments.
it's fragments of his
Yeah.
life, and that would be considered a biopic.
It's-
It's about an individual person.
It's monumental moments in his career / the company,
Correct.
and the drama surrounding those like keynotes,
Correct.
well, and
which
you-
was so cool.
Very, very
It was
cool
like
aspect.
vignettes. It's like
Yeah.
vignettes.
Yeah.
right?
Also
Yeah,
written,
yeah.
written by
Yeah.
it's 3 acts is what it is.
It
It's-
is.
It's
It's,
our favorite writer.
Sorkin.
who we know his name.
Sorkin.
No,
Sorkin.
Sorkin. Thank you.
Sorkin. The
I
new
bet
one's
you-
Sorkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's directing now.
He's directing now.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
deserves to be. We've talked all about
It's a
some
very
like
underrated
music.
good movie.
I think musical biopics are always at the top. Like, if
They're
you
the-
were,
I don't mean to say this I'm not trying to take away, but they are the easiest approachable biopics in a sense.
Right.
yes,
Because you know that you can get, there's a fan base of the music.
Right.
yeah, and
Like
one-
I'm super
there's
excited for the
Elvis.
Elvis. I'm a
Yeah.
huge Elvis fan.
Yeah.
I've always been.
Same.
And it's almost like out of obligation, I'm going to go see it. It looks
100%,
good. It looks great.
I don't actually think it looks great,
but I'm
I'm
going
going
out
to
of
watch it.
obligation.
Do you know
and
who's-
just to hear his music, I'm like, it's an excuse to go see it.
you mentioned Steve Jobs. Kate Winslet is so fucking good.
She's so
Oh,
good in it.
She's also Seth
Rogan.
Rogan.
Oh
is
yeah,
very good in it.
he's the
Was-
partner.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? Wasn't he?
Wozniak.
Oh, and
Yeah.
he's so good when he's sitting in the.
The big fight at the
Yeah,
end.
that's right. Oh,
And,
that was great.
Fuck, what's the name from
Good for
Dumb and-
you,
Dumb and
Rogan.
Dumber. Not Jim Carrey.
Jeff
but
Daniels.
Jeff Daniels
is
in it.
great
Yeah,
too.
it's a very good cast.
And that's when he's on Newsroom Energy already too.
So
yeah.
the movie itself, I would say, isn't as good as I remember, but it is a good. It's not like Danny Boyle's best, but it's a good movie.
You know what would be really good too is to show, like, if you want to show fuck method acting, just you want to see good performance acting,
Yeah.
is show scenes from that.
Agreed. Yeah,
You
it's
know,
it's
like,
very
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I saw that in the theater. And
I did too.
liked it.
Yeah,
liked
that's
it.
why I rewatched it on the plane. I was like, I do
that-
not remember this movie that,
That
well.
scene with him and his daughter on the rooftop.
Oh, so good. He's
so
like,
tense.
yeah.
That's when he's really like.
And that's when he talks about the iPod.
That's what it is, right? That's when he discovers the
Yeah.
iPod. Yeah, that's
He's like-
right. That's right.
I'm
And the Ashton Kutcher one,
Garbage. But that's a very
Oh.
traditional one where it starts
Yes.
from birth
Yeah.
to death or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You know.
I liked Foley. I think Foley plays Wozniak in that
I
one.
hate.
He
no.
was okay.
So
he was okay.
bad.
Well, because it's so like ABC biopic.
And
It
that-
looked like a made-for-TV.
Yeah, 100%. It
Yeah,
felt like Ashton
yeah.
Kutcher was cast on look alone.
Just because of that one photo.
Yeah.
That photo from the 70s where you're like, but who fucking cares, man?
No,
you got to
who
play a
cares?
part.
Yeah, like fucking Fassbender, who's just like
yeah.
such an interesting fucking actor. He makes
Yeah.
choices that are so weird. Like,
Dude, Shame was
Shame
like
is
one of the
so
hardest
good.
movies I've ever, but like it's
Dude
a
has
masterpiece.
Shame.
Yes.
Hunger.
It's a masterpiece.
dude's hung.
Oh yeah, like
Speaking
Oh,
of
good for
hunger.
him.
Oh, Fassbender is
Yeah.
hung.
Well,
like,
Fassbender is one of those actors where when people brought up nudity, I could see why he was like, I don't have an issue.
He's also in
Like-
this really good movie on. Oh man, it's a really indie movie called Bluefish, Starfish. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Who you? Sorry, I'm just going through the
No,
list over here.
don't worry. It's anyways.
What
whatever.
actor are you talking about?
Fassbender.
It's
Oh.
super it's like
It's
super
a very
independent.
indie movie. Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. You know what I'm talking about?
I
though?
know exactly.
That's
what
funny
you're
that you
talking
know this
about.
movie.
Oh,
yeah.
I love Fassbender.
Yeah, same. He's
Oh,
Oh my god, I didn't know Boys Don't Cry is one.
yeah. It's like based on that's
Oh,
Hilary
yes.
Swank.
Yeah.
Hilary
That's-
Swank got her Oscar first win from that.
That's right.
But yes.
Oh,
it's-
and $1 Million Baby's also a biopic.
Correct,
No.
you're-
I don't think that one
It is actually.
$1 Million.
Is it?
I
Yeah.
believe it is.
Oh shit.
I haven't come across it yet. I'm on the 100 over
I love
here.
Jay Baruchel in that movie, by the way. Very
yeah.
underrated, but
That actually, I don't like him in that.
well, because he's super over the
he's
top.
he's
and
playing it a
whatnot.
little too much.
But you can tell he's super excited. I'm like, in a Clint Eastwood movie, and
How
Morgan
many-
Freeman's there. and he's
How many
freaking out.
fucking things I don't know? Coal Miner's Daughter. Didn't know that was one.
Yeah, that's the one with Charlize, right?
I'm like,
No, dude.
No?
No.
But
Um,
Charlize was in a biopic.
She was in one that
about-
was Coal Miner's is Sissy Spacek.
Oh yes, yeah. That's right.
Based on country music star Loretta Lynn's biography.
Is
I
it
had no idea.
The
that
one
that
with
was,
Jeff Bridges that he won an Oscar for.
Oh.
Blue Heart or something. Crazy Heart.
Crazy Heart.
I think that's a biopic.
On who?
Some
Every
country
drunk
singer.
Country singer.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah. But Tim McGraw. No.
Argo. Argo is.
Oh, yeah.
Moneyball. Moneyball's a fucking romantic
Oh,
story.
Yeah.
That one was fun. That one was fun to watch because from the perspective of how math was used, right?
What about one
Like the
is-
the
Oh, yeah.
underdog story of baseball is something
it was
that
literally
always,
trying to find an algorithm of winning in sports.
Yes.
which is
And they
kinda
do.
nuts,
They
right?
basically
Like-
take like the hit. They take the losers, but can
Yes.
just like get by with them.
Yeah,
They-
yeah.
It's like there's
Let's
not
not
about,
look at breaking records.
It's not about winning games.
Yeah,
it's about
yeah,
just making it to the playoffs based on.
Is something like Alpha Dog is technically a biopic because it's surrounding a
Such
murder,
a funny pull. I
but
thought-
it's but it's
that was like
random.
Justin Timberlake's first
Yeah, he
movie.
was that was him being like, I'm gonna get an Oscar. and you're
Anton Yelp,
You know-
whatever. Rest in peace.
Ben
Janovich,
Foster,
something.
Ben Foster scares me in that movie.
I
the
love Ben
most.
Foster.
Oh, he's
period.
such an
Fucking-
underrated
yeah,
actor.
Yeah.
He's so good. Like his role in 3:10 to Yuma.
He's so good.
underrated.
The bad guy in that.
Oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
he's amazing.
He's so good.
He should be a bad guy in more things. Well,
Yeah.
an Alpha Dog.
He's also good in that Jason Statham movie, The Mechanic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super good in that movie.
Did you guys like The Queen
The Queen's okay.
with Helen
oh
Mirren?
yeah,
It's fine.
yeah.
Fine movie.
I
She
like
also
I
got
like
an-
the King's Speech more.
I think
Yeah.
King's Speech is not as good, but that's me.
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah,
King's
yeah.
Speech is too like for the audience. You know, it's
Oh,
like
it's an Oscar.
It's an Oscar
like
made
popcorn.
movie.
Give me that.
Social
Oscar.
Network should have won that year.
Oh yeah,
That was the same year. Yep.
Social Network, great biopic movie.
Oh, great biopic. See that one. That
Fantastic.
one would be one of those ones. Is that a biopic? Yeah, it is. But like, it's
Yeah.
kind of like it doesn't fully
but it's not
feel like one.
Zuckerberg the movie.
Okay,
it's
we're-
more
Yeah.
Facebook
I'm approaching-
Exactly.
I'm approaching
Yeah,
the
so
top-
that's why I
Yeah,
have a problem.
yeah,
with
right,
it.
right.
I'm approaching the top 10 here. So 13 is The Pianist.
I think that's a very overrated movie in my opinion.
11
I've
is
never seen it.
11 is
It's
Patton.
all right. It's all right.
Which one?
11 is Patton.
Oh, they said Passion, like
Pen-
Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess that's a
Biopic, eh?
biopic. Yeah, I guess it's a biopic.
could go either way. We don't touch
Harry
religion.
Potter's a biopic.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
Hobbit.
Transformers is a biopic.
If it's based off a book. It's a biopic.
It's about the War of
10,
Cybertron.
10 is Amadeus.
Yeah.
9 is Raging Bull.
Very good
Oh,
movie.
that's right.
Very
Yeah,
good movie.
Raging Bull's
8
incredible.
is
yeah.
The Diving of Belle and the Butterfly.
Oh my God! So
Shit, yeah, I
good.
forgot about that. Yeah, that's
Fucking
good.
great.
7 is Social Network.
Oh, okay. So there you
6 is The Irishman.
Boo.
5 is
Irishman's above Social
go.
Network?
You know this fucking list is BS.
Yeah.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
this is Ranker first of all.
Irishman
No,
was
this is
okay.
Stacker.
Fuck
Stacker's
this list.
Oh,
Anyways, keep
Stacker,
going.
okay.
5 is My Left Foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never actually watched it.
4 is Goodfellas.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. Scorsese's on there twice. I love it.
12 Days a Slave is
Right.
number 4.
Fassbender.
Yeah, that's true.
Fassbender.
Yeah.
Lupita.
Schindler's List number 2.
Yeah, oh
Good
yeah.
movie.
Disagree with me, I
Spielberg.
dare you.
Spielberg.
Number 1, and I guess why, because it is part of such a
Wait,
big
wait.
age of cinema.
Can I
Yeah,
guess?
you can guess.
Apollo 13.
No. Older.
Titanic.
Older.
Older. 10 Commandments.
1962. I'll give you that.
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, you're getting into the ballpark.
Bridge over the River Kwai.
No.
I don't know.
1962.
War related.
Fuck. I think I had it, but then I don't.
Full
You said
Metal
Patton.
Jacket.
No,
No.
it's not.
No.
No,
Full Metal Jacket.
I was
It's not
so
Patton.
confident with that. You like
It's
that?
not that.
Oh,
Fuck.
Apocalypse Now?
There
no,
it is.
No, not
Oh.
Apocalypse Now.
Interesting. I don't know.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, of
Oh
course.
shit.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah.
I have it on my phone. I was gonna watch it on the plane. I did.
Who keeps Lawrence of Arabia on their phone?
You know what? I
Three
thought
hours remastered. Spielberg talks about how that
Dude.
movie changed his life.
Yeah,
I have
that's-
sat down and forgotten very important things whenever that movie was on AMC. Like whenever
Who's
they
Lawrence
play it.
again? Is what's his face?
What's his name?
T. Lawrence.
It wasn't Cool Hand Luke.
No.
No.
It's
around
not
that
Paul
age.
Newman.
It's around that age though. It's like that dynasty actors.
No.
So Charlton Heston.
It's not
They're
Charlton
around
Heston.
that. They're
Yeah, it
around
is.
that.
We know him. He's been in other stuff.
Palmer?
No.
Something Palmer?
Doesn't say here.
Isn't it Palmer?
It doesn't say.
He was in Troy. He was the old man in Troy. He was the other king in Troy.
I think you're
Not
right.
Brian Cox. He was the other king in Troy.
Maybe. I don't know. Ian,
Shit.
make us legit.
He never won an Oscar, and everyone said it was like crazy that this guy never.
Peter O'Toole.
Peter O'Toole.
Peter
I know
O'Toole.
it was like a
That's his
name I
name.
know. I just can't think of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what else do we have? Anything else in the
Lawrence of Arabia.
on the
You know what?
biography list?
I don't know if we had to watch it in film school, but I know we watched at least a scene.
Right.
Okay.
You're right. He is in Troy.
he is in Troy.
He dies in Troy.
That's right.
And I think that
He's
might
the
have
one
been
that
one
says,
of his last.
"Let me take my son's
Yeah.
body," and Brad Pitt lets him take
Yes.
the son's
And I think
body.
that's one of his
Yeah.
last
I think.
roles.
Yeah.
Do you care if things are always accurate or if they stretch the truth?
I think if you are watching a biopic that's made by Hollywood and you think it's all accurate, and when you find out it's not, and you're
Watch your
like,
tongue.
you're insane. See, it's like what Ian said. Ian's right. I think people would rather watch a biopic than a doc, where I'm the other way. I'd rather watch the doc. Like, I'd rather watch the Beatles
Yeah,
doc
agreed.
than the Beatles
Sure.
biopic.
You want Peter
because
Jackson's.
I want that
yeah,
info. I
yeah.
don't need to see like, and then we all started doing drugs. Like, I know that
Well,
story.
it's just so dependent on what type of story. Like a good example right
the
now.
Doors. That's the other
Oh,
one
The
I was
Doors.
thinking
That's
of.
a good
Sorry.
pick.
That's the other one I was thinking of.
Thank you,
Sorry.
Lizard King.
That's a great one. Sorry.
An example of like a story that we did not need a narrative like movie or show about was The Dropout, which is about the her name? It's on Disney Plus right now. But,
The
the HBO documentary.
Yeah, the lady
blood-
that lied.
The blood
Blood
girl.
lady.
She
the
lied
blood
about
lady,
that
yeah.
fucking thing.
Amanda Seyfried
yeah.
plays her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the HBO doc that came out like many
came
years
out
ago,
way-
so good.
So good.
I never
This
bothered
show came
watching.
out way too soon and like way like
Well,
randomly.
it's also like I'm like, why is this made? Who
Yeah.
is this for? And it's for the people who were too lazy
To watch the doc.
To watch the doc.
and they're like,
which
oh,
is-
Amanda Seyfried.
And I
Yeah.
go like, don't give me two things of the same thing. Just tell me which is the better
Yes.
one, and I'll watch that. Just
Yeah.
like the Fire documentary, I'm like, tell me which one's the better one. I'll watch
Yeah.
that. And just like when you make a fucking like Jungle Book
That's a good
Disney
point.
movie
Yeah.
that's real life versus
Yeah.
the cartoon, I'm going to watch the cartoon because I already know that one's the better. Of,
Right,
like,
right,
of the
right.
two.
That's a good point.
You know?
It's
I like
what
the way you're
made
saying
me
that, yeah.
fall in love with you in the first place. Don't fucking ruin that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't need
Or
real
I'd
animals.
rather you take a shot, make something new that
But
sucks,
if
than
you're not going to
ruin
be
the original.
try to be different or better.
Yeah,
or try to be
that's what I'm saying.
like bigger or better.
And if it
you know?
sucks, at least you tried. But
Yep.
don't make a remake and then that is gonna be bad. You're
Yep.
setting yourself up.
See,
it's not gonna be good.
To go back to the South Park movie, they made a bigger, better,
Yeah.
uncut film.
Right. They took advantage
They took
of
advantage
the movie.
of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Totally.
I loved when Oprah had that dude on, James
Cruise.
something, James Frey. He wrote A Million Little Pieces.
Oh right, yes.
And
Is
then
that the one that he lied about?
exactly.
yeah,
But
that's
then-
the
I
only
own
reason
the
I
book
know.
and I've never read it.
I've watched the movie and I've never read the book. But
They
Is
made
it
Aaron,
a movie or a
of it.
show?
Aaron Taylor Johnson directed it with his
Oh,
brother.
shit.
What?
The two of them produced it and directed it. It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can watch it.
Interesting.
Is it a movie or a show? I thought
It's a
show.
movie.
What?
Yeah,
And
it's
Aaron
a
Taylor
movie.
Johnson, that's the fucking kick-ass kid?
Yeah.
So like opening sequence
Oh.
is showing. I know the story really well, so I was like, "Yep, no, he did shit like this." But as to the viewer, it's him at a party, butt naked, like high on crack, with his dick flopping out everywhere, losing his mind, getting into trouble, and then on a plane to Minnesota to clean up.
But the story is this guy wrote this book and made Oprah's book club, which is a huge deal, and he lied about everything.
Yeah, he
He's-
called it a he called it a biopic thing, and he basically got like
It's
his back.
semi-autobiographical.
Yeah, and again, I own the book. I've never read the book.
Why
but,
didn't
like,
you just
on the
make
back,
it a fiction?
Well, he knew it would sell more. And
Oh,
on
I
the,
guess
on the
because if you
back,
say it's a real right.
the back sounds like very interesting. It goes
Right.
like, back in so and so, I was kidnapped, blah blah, and put on a plane and said I was killed unless I would get clean. That was his like intro to the book.
Holy fuck! Yeah, so you're kind of a piece of shit for life for that.
But
man.
the movie, though, for somebody who has suffered from substance abuse, right here, I was like, this is interesting,
yeah,
even if it's slightly
Bullshit.
inspired
Right,
by, right?
right.
Like, to me, when I found out that it wasn't true, I was like, okay, so he's a liar, but that doesn't make the liar's good idea shitty.
Yeah, like you still have that connection that you took from it.
It
and
makes
that's
me
what
think
matters.
he's shitty,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson was like, this is a good story. So
Yeah.
they went and were like, well, we know what it is now.
Does the
Yeah.
movie play into the fact that he wrote a book that lied? Like, that's the thing.
No,
Like,
it
did they make the
doesn't.
movie before that? They must have before they revealed that he lied about it, or what?
No, they made the movie after.
Oh, that's
I-
even better.
I have a really I have not watched this. I was going to, or I think I will if I get time. I've not seen any of this, but I've heard it on a different podcast, to be honest. But the Stairwell, which is a
Oh, yes.
Oh, God.
so
Yeah.
they made a doc about
Yeah,
it.
they made a
then now
document alive.
they made the narrative TV show, but
Yes.
the narrative TV show, yes, actually takes into the account the doc.
Yeah.
So like there's scenes about the filmmaker making the doc that.
Oh, I
so-
didn't know that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like there's a whole system
That's kind of cool.
about
So
it.
so then that makes it worth
Um,
making the.
Well, so it got meta within meta. And that's what I was asking. I was like, in
Yeah.
the Million Little Pieces,
you.
did they do the like? Oh, we're also they come back to the story that is the thing that kind of got the thing off the ground. To begin with, you know?
right.
Yeah, no, Colin Firth and what's her face? Tia, not Tia Leone.
Toni Collette.
Toni Collette.
Toni Collette.
Yeah.
Correct.
I watched the first episode, so I watched the documentary. And
Yeah, and
I'm
I
always
hear Arnold's son is in it. I hear.
yeah. At some
Cool.
point he is. I haven't seen him yet, but
Cool.
they start the first episode off with the smashed head on the stairs.
Oh shit!
Like it
Is
drops.
it an owl? Does it show an owl?
You don't get to the owl
No,
yet.
you don't
the
get the
owl.
owl
The
yet.
owl comes a lot later, but like.
So I will say this is one that I would rather watch the Colin Firth because I watched the doc, and I had to make myself finish it just because I'm the kind of guy that's like I need to. But
He's going to do such a good
Oh.
job as Michael
In
Peterson.
I
my-
want to watch the doc over
in
the
my
show.
opinion, the doc should have been at least 4 episodes shorter,
I
and then
see.
it would have been.
Oh, it's that
perfect.
long.
Hey,
Oh,
for a
dude,
second
dude,
here.
it's like 13 episodes.
I can't do that.
I know.
That's murder. That's
it's-
making a murderer.
So that's why I'm like, if I'm going to watch 13 episodes, I may as well watch Colin Firth and Toni Collette
Yeah,
act.
it's gonna
because I'm
hold
sure
better.
that'll be a little more entertaining
There's a-
than fucking this.
very
Yeah,
few
good
doc
point.
series.
It's
that should-
clearly someone who had 1,000 hours of footage and was like, "Hey, here's my 800 cut."
Yeah, like
You're like-
I think they've kind of learned their lesson from when Making a Murderer blew up. And
Yes,
they,
yeah.
and they had like I think
'Cause they
12
milked it.
episodes.
Yeah, yeah,
they milked it, and then
Right.
that became popular, and they started doing a bunch of them, and they realized like the traditional thing's now like 3 to 4.
Yeah,
because
because like the Night Stalker one was one of the best, and it's 3 episodes.
yeah,
Yeah,
old,
they-
old countries.
It's
are
amazing.
They trimmed the fat.
Yeah,
Well,
they really
it's-
have to.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's also, hey man, it's a fucking doc, not
Yes.
So
a limited series or a TV show. So don't think of, but it's got to be a 13 episode arc. It's not though.
inside the biopic genre of series and movies and everything, I think out of all the topics, true crime would come close second now. I think before it was music. I think music
Yeah.
was the launch pad for everybody. It's like, oh, a biopic about music. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I like music. I like Johnny Cash. Now I think it's the true crime genre, either documentary series, then flushed out as a scripted show.
Yeah.
Dr. Death documentary series.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah,
Dr. Death is Alec
So it's
Baldwin,
Joshua
Christian Slater, and Joshua Jackson.
Yeah, good for him.
We
Yeah.
watched the
Canadian.
docu-series first, but I do want to watch this
But you know what-
story play out in a fictitious manner.
But what's getting now, and you said it perfectly, is just like everything, the market now is getting fucking stupid.
Right.
When I realized the Tiger King doc
Oh, fuck.
was the perfect beginning of pandemic. Everyone's like vacation, kind of. What's going on?
We needed crazy. at
Yes,
that point
and it was
because
the
our
perfect-
own life was crazy.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
perfect. I will admit, I don't know how much of that story is real or even set up for that doc. Because again, there were has-been filmmakers trying to make this
Yeah.
doc.
Guy worked for
But
Hard
fuck
Copy before
what-
he worked for
Right.
Joe.
So
Yeah,
there
yeah.
you go. There you go. Like
But,
there's a
like-
Simpsons episode on that guy, right? Like
It's
entertaining as fuck, but the fact that they did a show now on that,
yeah.
like yes, I get
Or
Kate
what's her
McKinnon,
face?
but that's a cash grab. man, for her.
Carol
Joe versus
Baskin.
Carol.
Carol-
Baskin has her own show now.
Yeah, see, and that's what I
But
mean. It's
that's-
insane.
Like everyone became a celebrity from that show.
It's so stupid.
It's so weird. So,
and,
but like I
yeah,
don't.
it's
Is that?
crazy.
I don't consider
But-
that biopic. I consider that
No,
reality
that's-
TV.
Yeah, that is trash.
and I don't
reality
consider
TV.
true crime. I think if unless you're going so
Like
large,
what about something about Pam? Like that's a Dateline podcast about a true
What was the one
crime
that,
event that happened in real
don't
life
think
that played out
I don't know if
in a
that's
series.
biopic.
What was the one that
No,
Zac
it's-
Efron did?
Well, biopic is strictly movie. I'm just I'm kind of
Twisted, wickedly
yeah, I
evil.
know, like extremely
evil.
bad.
Yeah, it was the
and
Ted Bundy
booby.
thing.
yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
That's a biopic.
That's a biopic.
That's a
Okay.
biopic.
Yeah, right.
For everybody, the definition of a biopic is a movie that's 2.5 hours long that chronicles the life of the character.
Lincoln.
2.5.
Yeah.
And you get bonus points if the name of the person is the
in
title.
there.
Is in the
Capote,
I think
yeah,
that should
Lincoln.
be yeah.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like
The
the Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah, Pee-wee's
Rocket
Big
Man.
Adventure.
Yeah, right. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yeah.
that was a day in the
Totally.
life of.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's some good biopics that if you've never watched or stumbled across or want to rewatch in our case, because I watched Donnie Brasco today. Like when I woke up this morning, I was just like, oh man, like
One
13 years. I'm wrong about that. What happened?
I don't know.
He turned
Okay.
a lamp on.
Oh, he turned a lamp on. That's fine.
Okay.
Lamps
Jesus,
lamps
that
get
scared me.
they can turn off too. Donnie Brasco is so crazy because it's like the game-changing level of undercover operations that a human could handle.
Yeah.
Not just doing it, but like years of undercover work.
Yeah,
and
because
abuse.
he gets
He gets
pretty
right
much
in it.
right?
Yeah.
Like by the end
Oh,
of the
he becomes
movie,
Donnie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't want to
Forget
separate
about
from
it.
the mob, right?
Yeah.
By the end of it.
They pull
yeah.
him out. Actually,
Yeah,
He's-
because he's in it way too deep.
Yep.
But
yeah.
everything that you know about undercover operations is based on how much they can push a human. Like they did it up to then. That movie shows how much they can do
Right.
and how much they've never done since.
Without Donnie Brasco, we wouldn't have had Internal Affairs or Departed. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
The one thing I have to say though that drives me nuts about the biopic is I hate how much it is almost a guaranteed Oscar nomination / Oscar win for whoever
Oscar
stars in
bait,
it
100%.
because part of me can't help but think a lot of these actors do it for that reason.
The
You know?
biopic is the
Yeah.
most hubris-filled.
It almost needs its own category, like best actor, and it could be women and men
Best
or
actor
whatever
based
you
off a real
identify
person.
as.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
as its own category. Because look at the last, like somebody on Instagram, one of those film groups that I follow,
You're onto
posted the
something.
last 9 winners, and fucking 7 of them are biopics.
Yeah.
Man. Like Joker was a winner, which is ridiculous. But Joker is, I actually have to root for it because it's not a biopic.
Yeah. I
But you're onto something because
It
then
kind
you're
of pisses me off.
then you're measuring the caliber of the actor by putting it in
Yeah.
a category of its
And
own.
also, no best male, female, best performance. Have at it.
Oh, they've done that. They've
Everybody.
been talking. Sorry, they've been talking about that. For
I
a
heard
while.
about it because
Yeah.
I heard what a music award show did it already.
Yeah.
They don't have gender now. It's just best artist of the year.
It's
and best whatever.
It's interesting. I think that's something that will likely change in the next 4 or 5 years. Once the older Academy people start dying off.
I agree.
Uh,
'cause
Will
it's
Smith
them
smacks a
that's-
couple more. And
Yeah.
solved.
All
All right,
We'll
okay.
see where people need to be smacked.
Let's
no,
move
it's-
into the second
We
portion.
need young
of the-
blood in there.
of this shit show here. We'll do this one a little quicker because it's really just about it's about syndicated television. And we were talking about this at work. Me and my work buddy Makar, who's would excel in one of these chairs, and we were just talking about its value. And then I was watching Neil Brennan on Joe Rogan this week.
Oh yeah.
I just found this out. Friends gets made, goes into syndication. NBC sells the rights. This is a quick definition of syndication for you if you don't know what it is, but syndication, listener, is when a TV show gets bought and sold and goes around the world all the time. It just keeps making money, and everybody who is involved in it keeps making money. And the people who have been in Friends and Everybody Loves Raymond keep making money. It's the golden child of what people do for television. If you can write a show that can go into syndication, the thing that most people I would imagine don't understand is that when you make a project, it's done, it's made its money, you move on, you have to make another project to do that. If you've made a thing that you can just repurpose,
It's why you still get your 2.5 Men and your Big Bang Theories and all that.
yeah,
shit.
it's why you see it
Crazy
everywhere.
date. Yeah, that's why it
These-
still exists. Yeah,
These are the best, and I think you find them either the first time when they're on, or you find them in syndication. But either way, you find them. And Ian, I'm curious, out of that list we kind of compiled, like, or that you know of off the top of your head, like, what's your golden child syndication show?
I feel like there's multiple through generations.
Yes, there are.
Because I can say what
There's not 10 a year.
Yeah, I would say what mine is now would be The Simpsons, because it's something I go back to really regularly.
Totally.
Like, it's something I get, like, when I'm not feeling well, I'll turn on a random episode of The Simpsons, and it makes me feel so good. And you know, I'd even say less so I was gonna say The Office too, but like less.
Yep.
Simpsons has always been it for me for a long time because it's my childhood, it's nostalgia. When I was younger, I had older parents, and they would tell me about these shows, and then syndication would happen, and you know, I'd start watching a lot of them. So like All in the Family was such a show for me that I watched
Good
on
one.
syndication.
I Love Lucy.
Yeah,
right?
like I Love
All in the
Batman.
Family was great.
All in the
Mary
Family.
Tyler Moore.
Yeah, but
Adam
like
West Batman was the
exactly,
shit.
like I had these shows I watched a lot, which made me who I am today. I would say All in the Family is like a big one because and that was like a show no one watched. Out of the,
Meatball
my
Head.
friends. Meatball Head. Like,
Meatball
there's
Head.
jokes in that I think it was so inappropriate. I thought
Yeah.
it was so fun.
It was edgy for
It was
like it was
so
edgy for that time.
It was
right?
downright racist.
Especially when they brought in Sammy Davis Jr.
Hey,
that was the
Pollock.
whole point.
Like, he kept calling him.
Oh yeah, Polo,
like,
everything.
Like everything.
Sammy Davis Jr. moves in next door. That was like a big
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, yeah,
thing.
yeah,
that was
that
a
episode,
huge
yeah.
thing.
So
yeah.
that a big one, and then like
What, a Jewish man moves next door?
you know, growing up, it's funny because now you see it where, you know, I say The Simpsons, and we're in streaming era, and I don't think Simpsons get as much syndication.
No, they don't.
Anymore because TV is like
But
a little more
they
emitted.
do pull the fucking stupid ad money.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, for sure. And like,
Well, that's why they're still doing it. For
Friends.
Sure.
I find Friends is. I'm not saying Friends is mine, but I think Friends is the most successful and popular one in my opinion. In Seinfeld,
I think
Yeah,
Seinfeld
but-
and Friends are the two big
Yeah.
big ones.
I don't know why. Like Seinfeld, I get it. Friends, I guess it's feel good. I think it hits a certain, like how I say about Simpson, it hits nostalgia for people.
I'm
okay,
not gonna
so
lie.
here's an example. Like,
I think
just to-
Frasier's a great
Frasier's underrated.
Frasier's
the
so
better
good.
out of the
Frasier
three.
is the one that you don't get until you're older.
Yeah, fair
Like
enough.
Frasier was always on when I was a kid, and it was always one of those ones where I'm like, the dog's cute, okay. And now I watch it my age, and I'm like, fuck, this is funny.
Yeah, the dog's still
Like,
cute.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say, like,
Here's-
this is funny though. Like it's
Here's the business side of it all for
Yeah.
you, for your listener. On air from '93 to 2004, Frasier was seriously successful. It was a seriously successful spin-off of Cheers.
yeah.
By 2005, the show grossed more than $1.5 billion in revenues,
Yep.
Wow.
including nearly $830 million in NBC network licensing fees.
It was a must-see TV Thursday.
Yep.
It was Friends at
Must see
7.
TV.
It
Well,
was
and-
Friends at 7, 7:30 was Frasier.
And NBC at that point was the biggest network for
It was,
television.
it
It had
was.
Seinfeld, Friends, and Frasier.
I love back in the day the TV wars against NBC,
Yeah.
ABC,
Yeah.
CBS.
Because
and,
ABC
and
capitalized
Fox.
Friday. That's
So-
why nobody
Well, yeah.
else had stuff on
Well, then,
Friday.
but then Thursday went back to CBS when Survivor and
That's
everything
right.
happened. You know,
Because the
and then-
reality craze
yeah,
started
and
happening.
then Fox had American
Yeah.
Idol on Tuesdays.
That's
like
right.
everything's bounced around. ABC
Yeah.
didn't really have much
like
for a good
who
while.
thought Tuesday would be a night where
I
people
had
are like,
no
I got to get
idea.
home to watch
Yeah.
something.
I'm
ABC
such a
ABC had a
snob now.
Lost.
I've always thought I've been better than public access television. Like,
TGIF, man.
Oh, man,
you
yeah,
know, but
TGIF,
like,
baby.
Yeah.
you know, I watched it as a kid, but like I was always like Super Channel or HBO. Like I came from a childhood of privilege, whatever.
Wow.
Like,
Right.
You know, but like I had access to that stuff. So getting older, I've always much preferred HBO's half-hour stuff. That's
Right,
not
right.
you can like Sopranos is the only thing I think I've ever seen HBO sell to other networks.
Right.
You don't pick up one day and be like, "Oh, let's watch Euphoria on somebody else." Like they
Yeah.
hold their Warner
Yeah.
Brothers holds their shit
Yeah.
tight and close.
Yeah.
But Sopranos was on like Global for a minute at like 10
No,
o'clock
you're
at
right.
night.
That was
Right.
you
and
know
that was because Global was trying to be like, we want to be
Edgy.
edgy
Edgier,
after
yeah.
a certain
we're
hour.
gonna remove the beeps.
Dude, I remember. Well, and that's why Showcase. Remember Television
I was about to
Without
say
Borders?
Showcase, yeah,
that was
Showcase.
their big thing.
Very, very Canadian.
Yeah.
Red
that
Shoe
was-
Diaries,
Red
guys.
Shoe
That
Diaries.
was before HBO Canada and Crave.
Yeah.
Showcase was our HBO.
That was
Yeah,
my porn.
Right? Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
well, that's where I got Trailer Park Boys, Kenny versus Spenny.
right?
But you know,
Oh, those
nothing
were my
has
shows.
truly changed because Crave is Canada,
It is,
HBO, and like you know, nothing has really changed. You go to the States, HBO Max, like we still have kind of channel systems in
Well,
a
and
sense.
Crave originals, you're like, okay, so that's Canada.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then HBO Max originals, you're like, that's America.
That's everyone.
Yeah.
yeah.
what do
North
you
America.
what do you think the best one is in terms of like, okay, so there used to be that one channel that did nothing but nostalgia. Do you remember that channel
Right.
for a minute?
It was fuck. What's it called?
But it was all
44.
yeah, it was all syndicated shows.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So-
TV Land.
TV
yeah,
Land.
yeah, something like that,
TV
right?
Land.
That was
Yeah.
so much fun. I wish they would bring back a channel like that because it's where everything should live.
Yeah. MASH and all that.
Right?
Yeah.
I want one for like I miss the video game ones. Electric Playground
Oh my
and
god.
Video
Electric
Arcade,
Playground was
man.
So good.
On
Video
YTV?
Arcade, fuck yeah,
Video
man!
Arcade.
It's letter time.
And
It's
it's
le-
letter
that's when you had to
time.
actually write in to be
Yeah.
like, how do I beat the boss
I
in
had
level
it-
6? And they had to tell you.
When I was going through my
Right?
dad's
Like-
house, I was going through some old like VHS tapes. I used to tape stuff. I found an episode of Video
Dude.
Arcade Top 10. and I
Oh,
was like,
dude, video!
Yeah.
It was the best.
but
'cause
yeah, it's letter
whoever
time,
won
it's
too-
letter time.
Okay.
It was like a dream because whoever won, you got the game, and if you didn't have the console, they're like, "You're leaving with the console
Yeah.
too."
And you pull the ball out of the
Yeah,
hat. and you're
That's
like, "Number
right, man.
6." Yeah.
That's right. It was the shit.
It was so good.
What's the show that is just no matter what channel it's on, you'll always give the rest of the episode some of your time?
It's Simpsons.
Is it Simpsons?
It's
Really?
still
So
Simpsons.
Simpsons is
Yeah.
yours then, and it is now.
Yeah. Unless
got-
like a new Simpsons, no. Old Simpsons classic. 10 seasons up.
Okay.
Or 1 to 10.
I want to know what you're talking about.
I have exactly what you said, like go-tos, like so Simpsons, Office, Friends. Those
Oh,
are ones that I'm like, or I don't have to finish the episode. I can just be like, this is the one where Rachel does this, and then
Yeah,
this, and
yeah,
then
Okay.
and my
pick
favorite line, boom,
which one?
Friends.
It.
I
okay.
know Friends inside out.
I'm the same
I
as
know
you.
Friends inside
Wow.
out.
Pivot.
Yeah, oh yeah, like
Pivot.
it's funny that you
Pivot.
guys even mention it. So I haven't actually. So Claudia and I haven't
Smelly
watched.
cat. Smelly cat.
We were gonna watch the Friends reunion,
Yeah.
and then Claudia
I
when it
love it.
came out.
I refuse to.
That's
I
okay.
refuse to.
We're going to, but this is what happened. It was so funny. Is we're gonna watch it, and then Claudia goes right before I press play. She's like, "I don't think I've actually ever watched Friends all the way through."
Oh, that sucks.
She's like, "It was just one of those shows.
Claudia.
Everyone I knew, I know." And I went, "Really?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't think we should watch the reunion. Like, you should probably." I'm like, "Well, I've seen it a ton.
You're
but
not
it's
going to
one
get
of those
Ross and
shows-
Rachel whatsoever.
Yeah,
well, I'm like,
yeah.
it's one of those shows where I'm like, I can always watch it, like Simpsons. Like, I mean, up to certain seasons, I'm like, I can always rewatch it, no problem. So we're rewatching it now. We're on season 8.
Oh, yeah.
I still love it, and I'm appreciating it more at my age because certain things I'm like, this is making more sense. Why this is funny.
This is
You
funny
know?
because I
like
have this
Chandler's
problem.
humor I love more than when I
Yeah,
was a kid.
the
I
sarcasm
understand
really
it
works.
more now.
Yeah.
What
Like
was-
one of my favorite bits is when Monica's really, this isn't early, but Monica's really putting him on the spot, and then he just goes, "Oh my God, this parachute's not working," and he
Yeah.
just goes behind the chair. Now at my age, I'm like, "Fuck, that's
a good bit.
hilarious!" Yeah,
Can
right.
I say my favorite Chandler bit? I
Yes.
was kind of randomly before the reunion came out. They were doing like little like packs on Crave. being
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
this
they were,
episode-
yeah.
So I
Yeah,
was
to,
like,
like, refresh
yeah,
before, yeah.
So I was kind of watching random episodes, which was very nice. And I was like, the show still holds up.
Yeah.
I think I was being too hard. I do like Friends. Let me put it that way.
Of course.
But my favorite episode was like season 2 where there's a blackout in the apartment and Chandler's
bank?
stuck in a bank with this beautiful
model.
supermodel and he realizes it and he's trying to like figure out how to talk and at one point he's like, just talk to her, he's talking to himself and his voiceover, it's like, just talk to her, just say anything to her, and she walks up to him and it's like, gum, and he's like, is it sugar free? And she goes, no. Oh, no thanks. And
Yeah.
then he goes, why would you say that? Like, he's just like,
It's so-
is it sugar free? Such a
It's-
funny thing to say if someone offers you gum.
It's such a good episode too. That's when, that's a great. Like the early seasons are great because you can justify more why Ross and Rachel are idiots.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean with each other? Because you're like,
I-
they're young and stupid.
I
So-
simplify with the roommate scenario with Duck and Pig and Chandler and Joey. Like
Yeah.
when they fuck with each other and Joey comes running in with all of Chandler's clothes on, he's like,
Yeah.
"Huh, see,
Yeah.
like that. Those are
You hid my stuff. I'm gonna wear everything you wear.
Also,
and I'm gonna do lunges.
Also, like so many guest stars. Like one of my
Brad
favorite
Pitt,
everyone.
Oh,
Danny
that one
DeVito,
was great
Bruce
just because they
Willis,
were married at the
Paul
time
Rudd.
too.
Yeah.
right?
Do you guys remember the
forgot about that.
my favorites were in the early, because you can tell that Friends was an unexpected hit that NBC did not expect.
Yeah, totally. I remember
And
that.
because in the early seasons, they even have an episode that opens up, and it's one of my favorites because I love the small little side jokes throughout the show where people are addressing the fact that these assholes always take that seat and always take that couch.
Yeah.
They do it very subtly in a few episodes throughout the show, but one is Robin Williams and Billy Crystal they're sitting in their spot, but they take the couch.
Oh yeah,
and there's
yeah,
so
yeah,
much
yeah.
of the couch left, so the rest of the friends are sitting on the couch. But Robin Williams and Billy Crystal
What
are getting into
episode
it.
is
heated.
this?
It's like season 2, episode like 4, maybe, dude. It's the intro of the episode.
Yeah, I do remember
And
this.
it's Billy Crystal, and Robin Williams has this random Russian accent because it's Robin Williams. So why not?
I think it's right before Father's Day came out.
I think you're
the
right.
movie
Yeah.
Father's Day.
Oh,
Yeah,
they were sliding in a
because he has
promo.
the hair and everything too, and basically he's what it is Robin Williams is confiding in Billy Crystal that he thinks his wife is having an affair, and then Billy Crystal's like, "It's me," and the friends are trying to have their regular conversation, but they keep tuning in, and then when he says, "It's me, I'm the one sleeping with your wife," Joey's like, "So you're the gynecologist?" And he's like, "We're trying to have a private conversation here," and they're like, "Oh, sorry," and it's a huge thing, and that's how, and then. He storms out. Billy Crystal leaves. The audience gives a standing ovation, and then they all look at Monica, and she's like, "I don't remember my story." And then the episode starts, and you're like, "Holy fuck that!" And they were huge at that time, right? Like
My favorite one is Denise Richard, and like
the cousin.
and yeah, it's the cousin,
We're all
and Ross
falling
is
in
very,
love
and he's like, and Ross is like, again, I like the voiceover jokes, but like Ross like is like, is she into me?
Yeah.
She's so attractive, like he's
Yeah.
so attracted to his cousin, and he tries to kiss her, and she's like, What are you doing? And he just like stares at her, and he's like, say
Anything.
something, say anything. You
So
have
much
to,
time has
so much
passed.
You have to say something, and then
She's
he
still
goes,
staring at
and then he goes, I haven't had sex in a very long time, and then his voice goes, yeah, you should have just said nothing.
Yeah, you should have just said nothing.
It's so good.
When Ross goes to get a tan in one Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Two
Oh, I never
Mississippi.
said anything Mississippi. My favorite is typical Ross moment. He goes to everyone that episode. How do you count? 1, 2, 3. Damn it! And he just storms out. No one else
about
counts
that.
Mississippi.
Or like-
Oh, fuck.
What is it? Unagi.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
And then she's like, sweet salmon roll. Because she's like, no, I think that's a tuna. She's like, I think that's sushi. Yeah, no, it's an eel. And he's like, well, whatever. It also means this. And he gets so, oh, fuck, that's a great. Yeah, like, and I think you're right. Like, Friends is also, it's one of those shows where even people like Claudia, who's like, I've never really watched it
timeless.
all the way
Yeah.
through. She knew Pivot. Like, she knew
Right,
it, you know?
right.
Like, you know those.
It's in the ether.
It's like even with Seinfeld, a lot of people
That's it. I'm
might
out.
not have watched
Yeah.
all of it, but if you say no soup for you,
Or,
they're like, oh, yeah, the Seinfeld
Well,
thing.
Simpson, it's like, thank you, come again. You
Yeah,
know,
thing, or like Doe.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that's Homer.
Yeah.
Even if you've never watched
beer.
Simpsons,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and
These
that's
pretzels
when
are
I
making me
think.
thirsty.
Yeah, exactly. And when a show can
Donut.
do that, I think it's iconic. Like,
Yeah,
no
agreed.
matter what.
So
You know
what
I mean?
is
Like,
How I Met Your Mother in this?
No, it's not.
I've actually never watched it, and people tell
How I
me
Met Your
that
Mother
if you
isn't,
like
but
Friends.
Modern
should watch
Family.
it.
Modern Family is.
But
So is Friends.
Full House.
Big Bang Theory. Cheers.
I fucking
Frasier.
hate Big Bang Theory.
I do too.
Seinfeld. Everybody Loves Raymond.
Full House, no?
Simpsons.
What about Curb?
Grey's Anatomy?
No, not Curb.
Two
Because
and a
I'm
half
more
men.
a Curb fan than a Seinfeld
Curb's
fan.
too-
Curb is
Cable.
HBO.
It's cable, man.
Curb's HBO.
Yeah.
Curb's HBO.
Yeah, so it's too edgy.
Yeah, King of Queens.
Oh, and it's
yeah,
always
no.
sunny.
Always.
It's always
No,
sunny.
it's also
Showcase.
cable.
Kings of Queens.
Kings
That
of
was a
Queens.
very underrated one. I used
Yeah.
to watch.
Fuck that.
TBS used to have the ridiculous, like
Yeah, I
sitcom.
remember.
They had Still Standing
Yeah.
with with the King from Game of Thrones
Yep.
season 1, and from Full Monty. I always forget he was in the
Right.
Full Monty. And the butler in the Chris Rock Down to Earth.
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
They had Still Standing. Yes, dear.
Man, you really know your
Oh, dude, I
like,
used
No
to.
like
I used to
early
watch that
early
shit
2000s.
every-
Anger Management.
That was my.
Anger management. Yeah. Fuck.
That was my
It's
like
Charlie
after
Sheen.
it
Next
was
Door.
Still Standing. Yes,
The Two Broke
Dear.
Girls.
I
Fuck
never
me.
got into those. I never really got
Thank
into
God.
those ones.
You seem to know a lot of the CBS.
I just used to when I was like after school because
Yeah, yeah.
you know
TV
why
Fun House.
TV fun.
TV
yeah.
programming was actually set up for like remember when CBC used to have an amazing lineup. It was
Street Sense.
it was Simpsons, Fresh
Yeah, I do.
Prince.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, and then the
I think it was the news.
John
the
Vision.
John-o-vision. Oh.
But Street Sense would come on every Monday.
yeah.
Raccoons.
I
Raccoons.
remember
I do remember the raccoons.
John-o-vision. They filmed an episode at the Forks.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
And I tried so hard. Like, you had to line up to try and see if you could get picked as an audience member.
Yeah.
Fucking went and everything. You waited so long and nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well-
it was cool. It was cool. John-o-vision was very... Seeing him in Trailer Park Boys was really cool because it's like...
He's still around.
Yeah, and it's cool that he's... You know, I know this might sound... I don't think it's lame, but the fact that he's making it in the Canadian industry, I think
Right.
is awesome.
Right.
Good for you. You know, like...
I want to extend a moment to listener that if you want to throw your hat in the ring here on best syndicated series that you grew up with, or that you maybe disagree with me or Charles that Simpsons is better than Friends, you can leave a voicemail at any link in our bio.
That's tough.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Do it. And we'd love to play it and then antagonize each other by using your voices. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll soundboard your clip.
Yeah,
And use it to attack each other.
No, Charles is about to say something. All right. You have to allow us to trademark your voice. Anything. Last thing before we go, we're going to do another Rogers regret. There should be a soundbite to this right here. But if you missed the first one, I think it was Transformers. We haven't done one since because.
What did he say about Transformers?
I can't remember.
It was bad.
Oh yeah, we did that one. That's right. That was
Yeah,
funny.
I think that was us three.
Yeah.
He gave it like what, a 1?
I think it was a 1.
A well-deserving one.
I've set the benchmark.
That's not a movie for him.
The benchmark is at 2 or less.
Right.
That's what I pull from.
He gave
Oh, yeah.
thumbs down to the Toby first Spider-Man. I remember that watching his show.
Yeah,
he
he-
gave a thumbs
These
down.
aren't movies for him. Like he doesn't like those movies.
All right, so
R.I.P. By the way.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
RIP.
Both of
this
them. No.
this
Yeah.
this title goes on the lines of like a travel log paid for by Singapore. This is the 2-star review of.
It's ruthless.
This is the 2-star review of The Hangover Part 2. Here's
Love
a couple lines and then we'll dissect it. Is this some kind of test? That's the
That's
first
one
line.
of the things he says. Hey?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Hangover Part 2 plays like like a challenge to the audience's capacity for raunchiness. It gets laughs, but some of them are in disbelief, as if making sure no one was offended. It has a montage of still photos over the closing titles that include one cruel shot that director Todd Phillips should never, ever have used. The MPAA's elaboration of the film's R rating says the movie has pervasive language, strong sexual content, including graphic nudity, drug use, and brief and violent images. Also, other stuff. Maybe their space was limited.
But then I feel like he watched Traffic and was like, it was a masterpiece. It was visually stunning. And like, is that movie like full of shit?
I don't know. But like, first of all, it's The Hangover Part 2.
No, I know.
Did you like it, Charles?
Of course. But I love stupid comedies like that. Like
I
liked it because what I loved is it didn't do it to the extent that 22 Jump Street did, but it was copy the original in a different location.
Oh,
Yeah,
22
right.
Jump Street is like beyond like anything of that. Like that's so meta of its own. Like
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
good. Like I can't compare.
Like
those
the
two.
amount of times that Ice Cube gets angry because he's like, do the first one
Yeah,
again.
but like that's the thing. Like it's
Right?
a joke
Like-
that knows it's a joke.
Yes,
like,
yes, because it shouldn't have gotten a sequel, and
Yeah.
it did, and then it's
And they
like,
even poke fun.
yeah,
at the
they're like
fact that
23 Jump
Yeah,
Street
they
coming
poke
next.
that they will never actually do like a third. But
And
they,
I
like,
think when they're outside the church, it says 23 Jump Street
Yeah, it does.
development coming soon.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
And they make a comment about it,
Yeah.
right? Like,
See, like, I love, bro comedies like that. I've never seen either. I didn't really get pulled into it. I grew up with a little bit of the original.
Are you talking about
21 Jump Street.
you never
Like,
saw the
watched the
movies?
movie?
I'm Johnny Depp.
Holy shit!
I've never.
Dude,
You
he
have-
shows up.
I
You
know.
have to
I know
watch
he
the
shows up.
movies.
I
The
know
movies
he
are
shows
so
up.
good.
Dude, the movies are
They're Christopher Miller. They're
awesome,
fucking
dude.
Into the Spider-Verse.
They're
people.
really good.
It's Cloudy
man.
Chance of Meatball.
This is
people.
also the segment where I go, admit it, and
You haven't
explain
seen
that you
it.
haven't
Yeah.
seen
Dude, they're
this.
good.
I know
If you're
we're off
looking-
topic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you're looking for a fun, dumb stoner comedy, like
I
just put
no,
it on.
I just
it's great.
I go
So
back to
good.
I go back to the well in a different way. I go back to Step Brothers. You know, I go back to Talladega. Like I go back to my Will Ferrell and
Yeah.
my John C. Riley's.
These are in the vein, man.
I know they are.
agree.
I
think
know,
they're
I
almo-
just-
I think they're better.
I have a problem getting outside of my wheelhouse. Anyways,
You'll laugh.
okay,
dude's
so
afraid
you
of
liked
change.
you liked The Hangover Part 2. Like
Okay,
it's,
so for me, I love again because I go into that movie.
it's the same serum.
I don't go into a
in a
movie
different
like
spoon.
that being like, I can't wait for that Oscar moment. Like I'm not an idiot. I'm
It's
going
Todd
into
Phillips.
that movie being right. Going into that movie being like, I want to see something stupid. I want to laugh. I want to be entertained. I love that they made fun of it. Like they did the first one. They just were like, it's in Thailand, so it's crazy or whatever. I enjoyed it. I thought the third one was atrocious. I thought they
The
could have
third
done
one was
without,
pushing it. I
They
agree
could have
too.
done without the third one.
I agree too.
But
I thought the
I thought it
second
was fun.
The second one was a fun visit
Yeah.
in the it's going to another debaucherous place on the planet
Exactly.
and getting caught up in debauchery there,
Right.
haplessly. the dumb idiot, the guy who kind of has it together, and the guy who's losing it all the time. Like that's a fun, good trope mix. So all in all, yeah, I say the same thing. You're not asking for like a fucking comedic performance.
No,
You're not
like, I
asking
just-
for memory. Ian, what about you?
I'm the outlier. I actually dislike this movie so much.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't remember it that much, but I remember watching it, and I remember. Okay, so the first one I remember watching, and being like, "This is fine. It's not hitting for me, but it's fine. I get it." I have rewatched the first one on occasion, or like it's on TV, you know. And again, I think it's still like it holds up. It's enjoyable enough, you know,
Right.
for me. Like it's not my comedy.
Right.
The second one, dislike completely. It was that where I'm like, they're just in Thailand doing it again. This is so
totally,
annoying.
Totally.
And then the third one, don't even remember it, but that's
Oh my
I did
God.
watch it. But the second I remember hating, and I'm like, and it's funny. Like I feel, I kind of agree with everything he says. Like so far for the past like Ebert's reviews, I've been like very on like Ebert's side, which is funny. I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's fun to see. Do you agree with one of the greatest film reviewers, like him and Malton and
I think it's-
Roger? I mean,
Siskel.
Siskel,
I think it's
Ebert.
also one of those
Malton.
things where I hate to say it, but at Ebert's level, especially at the point where this movie came out and his reputation, could you imagine if he was like, I fucking loved it 4 out of 5?
He
like,
has done
everyone,
that though.
Has he? He has thrown some curveballs,
like some
eh?
curves
Yeah.
where you're
So-
like, oh, he really likes this like dumb comedy.
And you're like, okay, then I can respect that, because I was always like, that's what I've always thought is, I'm like, what if they secretly love it, but they're like, I can't, because like no one will take me.
Oh, I'm sure that happens
my
more often than not,
reputation,
yeah.
right?
I
But
always, like it's hard to say. I always think like you go into a movie and it's also dependent on your mind, like your
that's a very good point.
your mindset. Like I went to see
Totally.
Top Gun today and I was tired, and I swear to God, if I saw it with like a full cup of coffee in me
Right.
and like a proper amount of sleep, I would
You'd have been
probably
in the danger zone.
Yeah, I would have liked it even
Yeah,
more.
yeah, you would
I
have been
did
like,
really
I'm
like
feeling
it.
this.
I saw
Yeah.
Green Knight at a 10 a.m. screening, and I fell asleep at one point. I still went out of that movie and liked it, but had to go back a second time
Of course.
to watch it because I was like, was I in the right mind state? No. To watch a slow drama about
I
a
just
night.
watched that last week. It was great.
It's so good.
The only thing I did not like about it, and it was just because, again, the movie's confusing,
It is.
was the jerk scene, the jerk off scene.
yeah.
Just because the fact that they had to
But I
show
love
it,
her
I was
so
like,
much.
oh, she's unreal. I can't wait for the next Tomb Raider.
Tomb
with
Raider
her.
2, yeah.
Oh,
So
This
here's
is so good.
here's the second paragraph from the man. If you saw that earlier film, which grossed $485 million, so you may have. There's not much need for me to describe the plot this time. It's the same story.
yeah, you're 100% right.
He's right.
Yeah, Roger, you're
Director
right.
Todd Phillips seems
They
to
look
have taken
sweatier.
the Hangover
They do.
screenplay and moved it laterally from Las Vegas
Yeah,
to
they're showing the
Bangkok
whole movie. Yeah.
while retaining the same sequence of scenes. Call to bewildered bride-to-be, flashback to wedding plans, ill-advised bachelor party,
Yep.
4 friends waking up with terminal hangovers in unfamiliar hotel rooms,
Yep.
ominous signs of debauchery, desperate quest to discover what happened, etc.
Except.
And then randomly throwing in Paul Giamatti was hilarious.
Oh,
Eating
yeah.
pho.
Hilarious.
But like, isn't what's his face more of a character in it? What's his name from Community?
Ken Jeong.
Ken Jeong, yeah,
he is.
he's the drug dealer.
And then he's the
that-
main guy in the third. Like the third one, the
Yeah.
only scene that was great was the opening is him breaking out of Guantanamo.
Right.
And it's hilarious.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's very
it.
funny. I
That was
forgot
really
about
funny,
that.
but
Yeah.
that's it. That's literally it.
They meet him in the first one.
Yep.
Yes.
And
He's in the
then,
trunk, yeah.
and then in the
He
he's the-
parties
he
with them in
brings
the second
He
one.
brings them
Yeah.
on the second. trip,
yeah,
I
that's right,
believe.
because they're partying with him.
Yeah.
He's the
and-
one that gets them all fucked up.
and
and
then
so-
leaves
Right.
them.
Yeah. So and I
That's
and,
right.
like I don't know. Fuck man. These are.
And then the
it's
third
not a
one
good
had John Goodman?
Yeah. Actually, no. The second one is John Goodman in it.
I don't think. No, it's Giamatti. Giamatti was the big name in the
I can't
second one.
believe
and
these
then-
movies.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's Todd. That's studio too.
Yeah.
Like that's a
Yeah.
studio obligation. I wouldn't be surprised in some of those situations.
Yeah, I don't know. The first one had a bigger stakes. Like the whole wedding plot was.
And
funny.
again, you know what it was? Was the first one was one of those ones where they're like, "Is this a stupid comedy? Maybe we haven't seen it." Became
Yeah.
a smash hit. Let's do a sequel.
I-
Do the same thing again. Like Ice Cube went in the room and was like, "You do the same thing again in Thailand,
Yeah.
right?"
Oh,
but
they
then the
probably
third one
made
was just
$300
like,
million on that film.
and then the third one was like, "Hey, you ruined the joke. It's not you've
Yeah.
ruined the whole series now. Like I don't even want to watch these ones now. Like you know what I mean?
Find the
So-
suspect and the supplier.
do it again.
The dick shot where they're like, "What is that on the floor?"
Oh yeah.
What is that
Oh
little
yeah,
thing?
and he's
And
like,
they're
"Get that monkey off my little dick."
Yeah.
Ken Jeong's great though, but that's just him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even in the first one, I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of the dialogue that was in the movie was him improvising that day.
But even like Mike
you know?
Tyson in the first one, like there's some funny moments.
Fucking
And
tiger
then
in
they
the
bring him
bathroom.
in the second one right at the end.
Like,
He's
that's
a
the
wedding
thing,
gift,
like, I
right?
just,
Like,
like-
just
The first-
exactly.
I can't
Exactly.
stand it. Like I hate.
But I love in the first one when he knocks out Zach Galifianakis, and the first thing they say is, "He still got it."
Yeah. Like I like a little bit of creativity in my sequels,
Totally.
and like this
Totally.
does not bring
None.
it
None.
at all.
He
and
says
like,
it's lateral.
but that's why I like 22 Jump Street as a comp is like that movie fucking knows what it's doing.
And then the ending is great because it's all the fake sequels.
Yeah.
It's like 20.
It's so-
It's like what,
Bill
99 Jump
Hader's in it.
Street.
Yeah, Bill Hader's like the
Yeah.
bad guy chef.
Yeah, and then there's one where they go to culinary school and
Yeah.
Bill Hader's this evil chef. There's
like,
one where
they shot a
doctors.
bunch of like spoofs.
Yeah, and they got like random actors to be like and featuring like Anna Faris is like randomly thrown in there at one.
And
they're
point.
fourth walling
and I-
it, and
and-
they're
Yeah, and
I
because
would
they know
say-
that they shouldn't even be there in the first place.
And
Is
I,
what they're kind
I
of
would
saying.
say like obviously Marvel movies or comic book movies do this constantly, where like the first and the second are identical. You know, like I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, Thor. Yeah, the first and second. I was actually gonna say.
Oh yeah, that's what the second one was
Iron
so
Man
bad.
1 and 2. Like it's essentially like the bad guy
Yeah.
is like another guy in a suit.
It's
you know?
Iron Man with now War Machine for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
we've
100%.
figured out who we want to cast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because even the first one ends where like Terrence Howard's like next time.
Yeah, next time.
And then in the second one, there he is.
and
Well,
it's
it's not
and
him,
it's just
but
the bad guy is another guy in
Yeah.
an Iron Man suit.
he
that's
has
a little bit bigger.
he has like whips.
It's
Yeah.
another it's another Jebediah.
Yeah, kind of right. Like
and which is why I don't think it's good. You
Yeah.
know, in that sense, because
Yeah.
I don't like
And
lazy
then again,
writing.
Iron Man 3, in my opinion, one of the
One of
worst
the best.
MCU. I hated. The
Wow,
third
I thought you were gonna say one of the best.
I hated Iron Man.
I
3.
legitimately thought you were
I
gonna say
hated
it's
it.
so good.
Oh,
It's
I
about
hated it.
PTSD. He's barely in the suit. I
So
love it.
that I didn't mind.
Yeah,
But I just thought everything else, like what they did with the Mandarin, was stupid.
I liked it. I like
And
Shane
then-
Black.
But, well, now I like it because of what they did in Shang-Chi. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you guys made up. But it was what they did with War Machine. It was ridiculous. I don't even think Don Cheadle. I think he wears it once.
Oh,
to
I
just
don't
land.
care enough about War Machine. So.
See, but I'm a War Machine fan.
Yeah, yeah.
So when they brought him in the second one, they have that cool showdown at the end. I was like, and War Machine's treatment in the MCU, by the way, livid. It's
Oh,
been
yeah.
so underused. And
I
now it's
don't like
a-
Don Cheadle as War Machine.
you know what?
He's such a skinny.
I like
little
him better
guy.
than Terrence Howard.
So,
Though.
I like Terrence Howard better.
I don't like Terrence
do we
Anyway,
agree
sorry,
about
guys.
The Hangover?
No,
What
Wait,
did he
yes.
give it? What did he give it?
He gave it
2.
2.
I would give it a 1. Sorry,
I hate
boys.
rating it like this, but
Sorry, bud.
I
We're
give
playing their game.
I give it a 3. I give it a 3.
I'd give it a 3 too.
I give it a 3. Like I would give the first one a 4, and then the second one a
I give
3.
I give the first
and
one
then
a
the third
3,
one nothing.
and this one a 1, and the other one a 1.
Yeah, see, that's fair. Like, you know what I
All
mean? The
right.
first one's better. We can all agree the first one's the better one.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The first one's believable. I walked out of that being like, I could see that happening to some dumb.
And the
fuck that
Polaroid
you know.
joke at the end's very funny.
Yeah, right? But then seeing it done again,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
a third, you're like, you ruined it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I've come
It's
up with a.
I think seeing a kid shoot a taser at Zach Galifianakis' face is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Rob Riggle, I love him in anything, even if he shows up for like a line.
I eat you in the
Oh my
face.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
in the face.
In the face.
I'm Rob Riggle in the face.
It's legitimately a paycheck movie. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you know what?
it's
And-
commerce. It's not art.
And what it was it did one of those 90s things where Zach Galifianakis was the most outrageous character in it, and it spotlighted
Do you
him.
have
It kind of became
bank
a thing
of
for a bit
phones
there,
anywhere?
right?
You have a bank of phones I could use?
Yeah, do you guys, is this the real Caesar's Palace?
Yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
That's one of my
That's a good
favorite
joke.
lines.
That's
Is
a
this
good
the
line.
real?
Yeah.
Didn't think so.
Yeah.
How about that ride in?
I think one of my favorites too is also when they throw his fucking satchel on the ground and he's like, "There were Skittles in there."
Yeah, that's the funniest one.
How?
His statue
Oh,
was very
guys,
funny.
how about the fact that they all had the balls to redo Rain Man,
yeah.
even to
Yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
walkout music?
How about this too? I will say,
Iko, Ine.
I know maybe now it's tasteless or whatnot, but I personally still laugh when they say it, because especially now knowing that you're not supposed to use that word, but when he says retard,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and the
yeah.
way he says it, and even they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
can say
It's
that,
such a
yeah.
funny take on it, because imagine someone going around
They're not
saying
making fun of the word.
a
They're
term
making
like
yeah.
that wrong.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, now we have so many things we need to say. You don't say that, and you're
Yeah,
also
yeah, yeah.
saying it wrong. I just think that's a funny
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
They're
a
gonna
funny
funny
bit.
say
bit.
the
It's a good-
word.
It's a word you're not supposed to be using,
it's a
and he's
good bit.
using it wrong, and then that becomes what they're talking about. It's
Yeah.
like, you're using it wrong, and he's like, no, I'm not.
It's smart. It's
right?
very smart.
It is. And even for when that came out, right? Like the open discussion of not using that word wasn't really being had yet.
Yeah.
So now rewatching it, I find that really fucking funny just because it's like, whatever. But yeah, I get it.
No,
It's one of those movies, again, I go into it being like, I want to be entertained, I'm high, and I'm half paying attention.
Right.
Do your job. Right? Like, yeah.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The second Rogers regret proves that one agreed, two disagree, and we went higher than it was awarded in its original awarding phase in 2011.
Not me.
No.
The Hangover 2 is actually what inspired me to make the Joker.
So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the end of the show. If this is your first time, if this is your many times, then stick around. Listen to the end. Listen to the end credits. There's a bunch of stuff that you can do and learn if this is your first time and you want to know who we are. If you're a big fan and you're already involved in the Debaterverse, then just press stop. I don't think we've got any big news coming up. I think we're trying to work on something with Raj to be at a patio this summer and do a patio show.
Oh, cool.
So like that would be.
Oh, and you guys have a road? You guys are taking the podcast
That's the
on
thing
the
to
road?
talk about. Sure. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So me and Jimmy and Shauna and Zoe are going to Vancouver.
Ooh.
And this may have already been out by the time this is out, but whatever. But we're going to Vancouver, and we're going to do a show out there. We're going to record with Martin.
Ooh.
So that's what I got
cool.
by the power adapter for that I was talking about.
Yeah, that's
earlier.
right. Yeah.
Back to the power adapter and the fucked up XLR cable.
Are you doing this? Is this debates on the road? Is that going to be
I don't know. We're
just
just whatever. We'll
shit.
shoot the shit and see what happens.
love it.
So be in touch for that. Subscribe. That's how you'll know that that's out, because you subscribe to the show. Yeah, subscribe, and then follow everybody else's shit. Follow Ian on TikTok. Follow Charles's stuff. It's all there in the link in the bio that we've mentioned.
It's all displayed really nicely.
Yeah.
by the way.
it
I
is.
checked it out the other day.
You just hit one link, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is
It's
this
right there.
person. This is that person.
It's great.
right? Like, just like we make it easy.
Yeah.
Lazy pieces of shit. And then you'll see Ian wearing his Reel Debaters t-shirt, and you'll be like, oh, there's the connection. We're not actually, just.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of the diamond shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
It's a great
Yeah,
shirt.
It's a great
Thank you.
shirt. It's a wicked shirt.
I only wear branded things, clearly.
Yeah.
Of like local friends and things
No,
I'm
it's
involved with.
Go to our go to our merch page in there too. There's a signature shirt for each
That's
debater
right.
now. Those
Yep.
are out.
And they're all good.
They're all pretty fucking good. Yeah,
they're all really good.
They're all based on props from some of our favorite films or some of our favorite characters. Ian's, I think, is the best. That's my personal favorite.
Yeah, Ian's is great.
So go check those out. And there's also a shirt there that if you buy, all money's spent on that shirt go to Manitoba Underdogs.
Woo!
So and it's Diamond. It's Diamond's face. It's got a little thing that says Diamond on it. So you can.
She's blowing up. On the
you can
social
get a
media,
picture of her.
so-
You can get a T-shirt of her. Like every, I think I was like
My
they were
dog
like
is self-promoted.
yeah, like I think I put housewares. I think I put like art. Like there's
Yeah.
stickers.
Get a picture
and-
with her for $5.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Signed autograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just put like mud on her paw and she'll just put it on a piece of paper.
I should
there
start
you go,
a
kid.
cameo for her. That would be pretty funny.
That'd be so good.
That'd be so funny. I wonder if I can.
And
Probably.
record
Can
the
you get
video.
Diamond to wish my kid a happy birthday? She would lose
Hello.
her mind.
But then you
Diamond.
record the video into TikTok.
Yeah.
And then you send that as cameo.
Yeah, totally.
That would work.
Actually, I was gonna do like people do Omegle on TikTok a lot, and I was gonna do like because I Diamond will sit on a chair really nicely. I was gonna put Diamond on a chair and just like hide and like talk to people through Diamond on Omegle.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and just screen
That's
record
great.
it all. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, right. It's pretty funny.
That's great.
It's a good bit.
I'll add it to the link in our bio where
Yeah.
everything else
Good
is.
bit.
Like, subscribe, follow, listen to the
great.
show, everybody. Thank you for listening to another episode. I have been Michael Petrow.
I am Charles Fernandes.
I'm Ian. I gotta pee.
Yeah. You can always go and pee now.
I drink so much water.
You don't have to sit here and
He's
not pee.
hydrated,
I'm
okay?
hydrated.
Fuck.
I need
Tell
to- I need to-
someone leave a voicemail and tell him that he
I
can
need
go
to s-
pee.
I need to stay till the end.
Bye. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Watch all the movies.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, another Reel Debaters production is in the can. Thank you so much for listening. If this is your first, second, third, fifth, 20th time, thank you so much. But thank you to the first timers, the ones here who pressed play for the first time and took a gamble on us. If you like what you heard today, the easiest thing to support the show is just to subscribe. Hit the like button, the follow button, whatever's in your podcast player. Make it so that we're always there every Wednesday for you, okay? That would be huge. If you want to stay in touch with us, if you want to follow us, there's a couple ways to do that. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. We're slowly migrating to YouTube by putting all of the things we've ever put on video onto that site. There's some surprises coming this year that happened a while ago, but I felt needed to be shared because they're part of the Debaterverse. So the YouTube page is coming. But if you want to follow us, it's at Reel Debaters Pod on Twitter and Instagram. It's the Reel Debaters Podcast on TikTok. All of the links, all of the one-click away things are in the show notes that you've just listened to. So if you want to follow us there, that would be great too, because then you get to stay in the know of all the things that we do and what we're going to try to do this year and what we've done in the past, so on and so forth. So that's how you stay in touch with us. If you want to contact us, it's thereeldebaters@gmail.com. All the spelling for all these things is REEL to keep with the title of the show. So you can send an email to us there, request an episode, want to call out one of us for being a goofball. There's places to do that as well too, like the Reel Debaters website. You can email us, or you can go straight to the website, rate us in Podchaser, it's reeldebaters.ca. And if you really, really liked what you heard and you want to support the show in some fashion that requires you spending money, well, we got a couple ways for you to do that as well too. You can buy our merch at the Prop Shop. It's a store through Threadless, and it's online, and you can order stuff. We've got tons of stuff. We've got our Mass Debater wear there. It's our signature, original, and only line. It's our logo on everything. So you can support us that way. Go to the merch tab in the show notes, or if you just got $1 and you're like, hey, I want to give you $1 and donate it to your cause, there is a tab in the show notes as well too that says donate to the Debaterverse, I think. And if you click on that, it takes you to a donation page where you can donate like $1, $3, and $5, and you'll get something for your $1, $3, or $5. Any more than that's just ludicrous. Luda. So, that's just kind of what I wanted to tell you, that what I said at the end of the show. This is what you should listen to, because this is all about who we are. And now that we've gotten to where we are, we want to interact with you guys more. So these are the ways to do so. This is the way to stay in touch with us. Thank you to everybody, again, who's listened to the show. Again, you pressed play. You took a chance. That's cool. So without further ado, this is where I said I would talk more, so it's eggs on your face. No, I got nothing else for you. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week, and watch all them fucking movies. Bye-bye.